You're watching live here from Vaquero Stadium here in San Diego, Texas, where tonight the Navarro Panthers take on the Port Isabel Tarpons in the area round of the 4A Division II playoffs. Stay tuned for Panther football pregame show next. You're watching Panther football on the Navarro Panther Network. All right, we're here live here in Vaquero Stadium, San Diego, Texas. My name's Lance Blackburn. I'm here with Hank Dietert.
Yeah, glad
How are
glad
you?
we made it. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good trip,
it
man.
is a nice trip down here, down south. We 70 degrees, which is great for the
Right.
second week in November.
Oh
What is it?
man, yeah.
November 17th,
And no
and
precipitation, rain.
that's the good news about
Yeah,
coming south, Hank. Right?
right.
Yeah, no precipitation. Winds very light, about 5 miles an hour from the southeast. Tonight we've got your Navarro Panthers in the area round facing the Port Isabel Silver Tarpons
All right.
from the boys from the beach.
Yeah, boys from the beach, and right there close to South Padre. They're just across the harbor, basically, or across the bridge. And so, but they're part of the slot T, as they would say, mafia.
They are. They are. They are the slot T boys from the South,
There
right?
you
As
go.
they like to call
Almost as far
themselves.
south as you can get.
That's right. In Texas, at least,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, but yeah, let's jump into some previews. The Navarro Panthers come in winning the bi-district championship last week versus YMLA, 48-0. That brings their overall record up to 8-3. And coming into this game, another great game there from the Panthers on all sides of the football. Three more interceptions, a bunch of yardage. Antoine Mabane led with 8 carries and 131 yards and a couple touchdowns. He's approaching 3,000
Right.
yards. We'll talk about that quite a bit here during the broadcast. But overall, great game there from the Panthers. Mabane now on the season, he's got 1,315 yards, 14 touchdowns. But look at that.
Yeah, average 10 yards a carry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 yards a carry, which is amazing. I mean, it's a first down every time you get the
Right.
ball to number one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way it's averaging right now. But with a slot T defense, I mean a slot T offense playing a slot T defensive minded, because in practice they go at each other every day. So Port Isabel, hey,
Right.
we already know how to stop a slot T. But the problem is for either team, and you'll hear Coach Blunt say that is. Both teams know the slot T so well. If they give away, how to stop the slot T, well, then you give now something on video that the next team can use. Hey, this is how they stop the slot team. Maybe we can do the same thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting scenarios going in this game because when you do play another slot T team, which I think one of the
Right.
last times was Rockport Fulton. They were a slot T team. We played them several years ago, and we've played a few others in the past. But let's talk a little bit here about the Port Isabel Silver Tarpons.
Right.
They come back returning 7 starters on the offense, 8 starters on the defense. They're 9-2. They won District 16 4A Division 2, and they've got a couple of really solid players. Led on the offense by, and he did not play last week, but number one, the senior Andrew LeBlanc, smaller guy, 5'6", 175, and he's a fast.
Right.
And
Right.
Coach Blunt and the coaches fully expect him to come in and play. He hits the hole quick, and his backup. I watched some tape this week. Is a sophomore, number 21, Luis Ramos, and he runs a 4.5 40. So he's no slouch either.
Right.
So
Right.
Panthers, and then they've got another big back. They've got a big back. Look for number 24, Tristan Garcia, big physical guy, ton of power, likes to run downhill. Um, Big boy, about 180, and he plays both ways at fullback and linebacker. But one thing I didn't see this week, and maybe one of you guys did, but I haven't seen Port Isabel throw the football yet.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
and I
pretty,
mean, we show only. I see when I looked at the max preps, they
yeah,
throw about 20
20.
20 something yards per game, like
Yeah.
27 yards per game is what they average, but I think it was only for a few passes. So, you can't really go by that either. So,
Right, and if you flip over to the defensive side for Port Isabel, a couple of players to look out for is number 20, Edward Garcia, sophomore, high motor. He's their leading tackler, and he's their leading tackler by more than 30 tackles.
right.
Has more than 30 tackles than anyone else on the team, but he makes plays all over the field. So look for number 20. Scrapes well, fills his holes, does his fits from his backer position really well. And number 23, another linebacker, Daniel Gavon.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
yeah.
he's a good physical, very disciplined player. Plays with good technique, sound, good in his run fits as well. But they've got some big boys on that defensive line. They've got a couple of boys that are over 300 pounds. Number 90, number 78. They've got an offensive lineman, a right guard, who goes both ways. Steven Martinez Jr., number 72. So they've got some big boys. They got some speed, and there's a reason why they're 9-2. So um, I think we're going to bring in
Yeah, Scott
Scott
Kibbe.
Kibbe here, and he's going to give us the fun fact. I know Scott's gonna got to get back over to the other side of the stadium. So how you doing,
All right,
Scott?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here in this here on the Smurf turf.
There we go.
On the Smurf turf.
We
Yeah, you see.
always call Boise State that.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's right.
and it may be hard for people to focus on, with our cameras are even having a little hard time trying to focus and stuff on
Yeah.
this, but we'll see how that works out. Now, Scott Kibbe, we're really glad you could join us over here. We're looking to see, what kind of fun facts do you have for us tonight?
All right, got a couple. One, of course, Panthers in the second round. The last 8 years, they have won in the second round. Second round's been a very good round for them. They have won those games by an average of 30 points.
Oh,
Okay.
Really, just two
wow.
close games in there. Last year's game with Bishop was one of those at 2 touchdowns they won by, and then 8 points over Raymondville in 2018. The other one you were talking earlier about the Panthers versus a slot T. The Panthers last time Panthers lost to a slot T team was Liberty Hill 2011.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a while back.
That's
That's
and,
12
as
years ago.
I talked to Coach Blunt about that this week. I said, Liberty Hill's Liberty Hill. There's no
Right.
they run the slot team better than anybody, but yeah, never actually beat them the year before, which is hard for people to believe with all the success Liberty Hill's had. But so they match up well with the slot T. They like their chances playing in their slot T team.
Yeah, and oh boy, let's see if I can get this straight. The other slot T team back, I believe that was in the 2018 season. They played Rockport Fulton, right? And
Rockport,
at
Fulton,
Alamo
Right.
Stadium, and
yeah.
and that was was that the last slot T team we played? Was it since 2018, or do you recall? I know I'm
Think
putting you
that's
on the
the
spot.
last pure one. They've had a couple. Has had somebody who kind of mixed in it. I don't remember who
Okay,
that was, but Canyon Lake was in there. But his first year, Canyon Lake was running it. They
right,
lost, and Navarro beat him 62-0.
right,
So they didn't have it quite down. Couple of others. I know Mathis, but that was before 2011. They beat
Okay.
Mathis, another slot T. Of course, Port Isabel a couple years ago. Um,
Right.
was no.
Port Isabel in the
right.
playoffs in
Yeah.
the second round, and I
Yeah.
think it was Beeville's where that was that right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, so that's a pretty good pretty good fact though. 8 years in a row that
Yeah.
the Panthers gotten out of the second round, and let's hope we can keep
Yeah.
that up tonight and make it 9 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
That's
the
right.
ninth time. So, well, thanks, Scott. And where can we
Any?
find your information? But go ahead,
Well, no,
go
I was
ahead.
going to ask any predictions or anything
Oh
for
yeah,
tonight.
yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I think the difference you guys were talking about how little Port Isabel passes. Coach Blunt said about 90% at least run. I think that may be the key. The difference tonight is the Panthers have been passing so well. I think if they're able to do that, if they're able to spread the field and complete, get some completions early, if the Panthers are,
Without showing too much, right?
without you don't show too much, but it's still you don't win today, it's
Yeah,
over.
it's
So
that's it,
got to
right?
make sure
That's
you get
right.
the job done. But
That's true.
I
That's
think the
true.
passing could make the difference. If the Panthers have some early success passing, I think they'll win this pretty handily.
Right.
Otherwise, could have a pretty good matchup here. So
Okay.
yeah,
Sounds great.
All
Sounds
right.
great.
Well, hey, we will see you at halftime.
good deal. All right,
All right.
thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you, Scott.
All right. Well, we will continue on here with our pregame show. We've got one thing I did want to talk about, and we'll get to our keys to the game in a little
Okay.
bit, but But one thing I did want to talk about, Hank, was the Panthers. And some of the things that I'd like to see cleaned up a lot tonight is number one is the fumbles. The fumbles,
Right.
the fumbles. In as you get further along in these playoff games, we don't want to see the fumbles and the penalties. We've gotten a little bit better the past
Right.
few weeks with the penalties, but still, I think we got about 55 yards. We were averaging around 88 yards in the penalties for the season. So we have improved that a little bit last week, but I think we've really got to get that number down to 30, 40 yards in penalties is usually
Right.
pretty good. But and we've cleaned up. We've done a good job of cleaning up some of the personal fouls and whatnot here last week as well. So that is good news. We will see. I know Landon Taylor is out tonight, so he will be replaced at defensive end by Braddock Galini.
Right.
And but the Panthers, I think for me at least tonight, in watching them, looking coming into this game, I think what the Panthers have got to do is play their brand of football.
Yeah, and it's
It
almost every week they've got to keep that physicality up,
That's
high
right.
intensity.
That's right. Because if you came to me and you said, we've got probably better athletes at the skill positions than the team that we're going to face tonight. It's just a matter of honing that and using that to your advantage and really playing physical Panther football because when you don't and you let up against a team you feel like is you're probably more talented
Right.
then you tend to that's when you lose your edge and
Right.
that's when they creep in and they have a chance to knock you off. So anything from your end that you're looking at in particular for tonight?
I just think that, what I saw for yardage per game is, they're just a little over 200 yards a game on average. So they don't get a good start and they don't sustain drives, and their first down rates from what I saw was, not making very many first downs. And so they
Yeah.
don't do well on first down either. And so I think that's something that Port Isabel is going to have to do a better job. But we see the fact that they're not moving the ball, on a consistent basis. And I think the Panthers are going to be able to take advantage of that. You give Panthers the ball, now we can pass or we can run, and we're gonna do both tonight. And I think you'll hear it in Coach Blunt's interview coming up next, and the fact that he touches on that a little bit.
And I think you said something that I think is dead on, and something as if you're a viewer and you love football, watch first down with
Right,
Port Isabel when they have the football because you're exactly right. If they cannot sustain they say get 3.5 yards, and
right,
you're gonna have a first down, right? But if they get some negative yardage
right.
or get tackles for loss, things like that, it's going to be really hard
Oh
for
yeah,
Port Isabel because I tell you what, the Panther defense has been improving week after week after week, and we've seen it. And if they fall behind, it's going to be really really tough for the Silver Tarpons
right.
to get a victory. So
Exactly,
all right,
exactly.
well let's jump to Coach Blunt's interview pregame here with Hank.
Good evening. This is Hank Dieter down on the field with Coach Rod Blunt, the head coach of the Navarro Panthers. Coach, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you having us.
All right, Coach. Now you had a big win over YMLA Lions last week, 48-0. And so, what do you take away from that game coming into tonight?
It was a great opportunity for a lot of kids to get some playing time, a lot of kids to get out there and refine their skill, and guys went out and executed well, and this is something we're looking to build on for tonight and in the future.
Well, I know you've ran in this situation before. I mean, you've seen teams like Rockport, Fulton in the past in the playoffs. They run the slot T, but we're talking about tonight, Port Isabel. They also run the slot T. So how does that factor in all your game planning and everything you got to do tonight?
It's very difficult facing somebody that runs something very similar to you. They know all the ins and out of what you do, and hopefully, we do with them. So it presents a lot of challenges because you're going to see different fronts, fronts that give us problems, fronts that have given them problems in the past, and we got to do a great job of shutting them down, but you don't want to do too great a job and show somebody else how to shut it down as well.
Yeah, I remember. I think you said the exact same thing back when you played Rockport, way back when, right? So now, the hard part to me would be is, keeping the motivation up all through the week. I know it's playoff time. They shouldn't be a problem. But as far as confidence level, where do you think this team is at right now?
I think we're right where we need to be. The guys believing in themselves. I think we've been improving every week. And the kids have been still loving it, getting after it in practice. And so we're excited for them to get out on the field tonight.
All right, so I know you kind of touched on their offense already and your defense, but on your offensive side of the ball, I know they're going to give you a lot of new fronts and different looks and try to throw you off. Do you have to take and have Schulke do some things that he doesn't normally do as quarterback?
I don't think so. They have a big defense, especially that defensive front, a lot of size on it. So we just got to take care of them up front, make sure we're getting some movement so where we're able to do what we do. Hopefully we've done some things in the last few weeks that we've kind of gotten better at that will help us if they put us in a bad situation. Colton's been doing a great job running the offense and with our new wrinkles. So, if we need to go to that, we can. But the main thing is our guys coming out, controlling the line of scrimmage. Backs doing a great job of selling their fakes every single play and just driving the field on them.
Well, Coach, personally, I think tonight it all comes down to execution. If you're going to execute and do what you need to do, you're going to move the ball no matter what. So, but on special teams, when we talk about execution, holding the ball, make the plays, make the tackles. So what do you expect from your special teams tonight?
We need a big night from our special teams, putting pressure on their kicks. Whether it's they're punting, we need to get some pressure on that kicker, try to get a block punt. If not, make those guys stay in long where Rangel gets a running start on them and get him in some open field. Same thing on kickoff return. If we can try to get Rangel and Antoine a little space and see what they can do. But we can't give anything with our punt teams. Make sure our punt and kickoff, make sure we're covering well and tackling because they do have some good athletes with speed.
So, Coach, now to the end of this, we ask every week, what are your keys to victory tonight?
Playing within ourselves. Very good opponent that knows us and knows what we do well, so they're going to give us some troubles early. We got to make sure we keep our heads, stay focused, and get out there and execute. But winning the battle up front, both offensively and defensively, they got big lines, and we can't get pushed back and let them pick up 3 yards every play because that's what they're looking to do. And we need to make a couple of explosive plays tonight.
All right, Coach, thank you very much, and good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're back. Hank, let's talk a little bit about the 4A Division II playoff bracket, and we're going to bring that up here.
There it is.
And it looks like so tonight we've got Port Isabel and Navarro. We're here in San Diego, Texas. A big one up north, Sinton in Laga Vista.
Yeah,
and for
in Alamo Stadium.
playing where we were last week. Great venue. Should be a heck of a ball game. I don't know who
Right.
We-
I think we have a little different on this one. I think since Lago Vista changed their offense a little bit, they
Right.
went to back to more of a style they had last year, and they looked like their point production went up. I thought they played Wimberley well in that first half. They scored, I believe 27 points in that game against Wimberley, and I think that I'm thinking they're a field goal or less, better than Sinton now. I wouldn't have said that, when Navarro played them. When they were running mostly in a pistol. But Sinton, obviously has a good shot of beating him. It's a toss-up for me, but I'm going to take Laga Vista but
Okay.
less than a field
All
goal.
right. Well, and all week I went back and forth on this game. One day I was Senton, the next day or next hour I was
Right.
Lago, and then Senton, Lago. I'm gonna just to spite you a little bit. I'm gonna go with the Pirates.
There you go. Yeah.
and
Nothing
I
wrong with
but
that.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
this is a complete toss up.
Right.
I think either of these teams could win this game,
Right.
but I'm gonna go with the Senton defense.
Right.
And so I'm gonna pick the Pirates tonight to just barely knock off the Lago Vista. So if we move up the to the next game, we've got Bandera and Ingleside,
Okay. Bandera and
and
Ingleside.
this is another pretty tight football game. I mean, Ingleside's had a really good year. They lost that last game against Senton in district and got seeded up here. But Bandera they knocked off Gerald last week, but not by much.
Right. It was a
So
close game,
it
back and
was
forth.
right 32-27. It was tight, but I'm gonna go, and I usually wouldn't do this because I'm not a big believer of some of the real South Texas high school football teams, but I'm gonna go with Ingleside. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
the boys there
Oh wow.
by the bay, and to knock off our old
All
district
right. Oh yeah.
foes.
Yeah. I'm there
Bandera.
with you. I agree with you on that one. So
Okay.
um.
And then the last one we've got up in they're playing I think up at Shirts is Wimberley in Orange Grove.
Uh-huh.
And Wimberley, obviously is the number one seed in Region 4, and they won our district, obviously. Big win over Pearsall last week. In Orange Grove, they knocked it. They beat up on Raymondville pretty good. So
Right.
I think this is Wimberley's game. Obviously, it would be unless Cody Stover goes down with an injury or something crazy like that.
Yeah, there's no contest for me. I think that yeah, Wimberley wins it big. I mean, I don't think Orange Grove will give them much of a fight at all.
Right. I don't think so either. So we will be watching and we will keep you up to date on the scores in all of those games,
Right.
plus some of the Region 3. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Region 3. Man, Region 3
I,
up there is just a dogfight. I mean,
right.
they got some teams that are just outstanding up there. I mean, just between Silsby and Belleville and, Jasper and Waco Conley are playing tonight. That's going to be a fight. Cuero in Hampshire Finette, they that's going to be another really good game. So I don't know. I some of these games are really tough to pick,
uh,
and so I'm not sure. You got Quero and Hampshire Finette, and that one's. I think that's a toss up.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
really do. I think Hampshire Finette is a really underrated football team. They're really good.
And didn't they drop down? And weren't they a 5A Division two, and they dropped down to
They
I mean a Division one 4A, and I think they dropped down
they
in the last realignment.
sounds right. I
But
don't
I could be wrong.
I don't know
Don't
that for
quote me on
sure,
that one.
but I know last week they won 57-7 over Brookshire Royal, and Brookshire Royal's not a slouch of a program at all. So, but yeah, Cuero's going to have their hands full. Not to take any jabs at Cuero. Cuero's got an excellent football team this year, but I think they got their hands full in Katy tonight. So, I'm not sure who's going to win that. Cuero will probably pull it out,
Right.
but you just don't know. And then Jasper Waco Conley is the
Yeah, I like to see Jasper on that one,
yeah, I do
because I
too.
think Jasper's been playing well for the last 4 years. But I like to,
Jasper's a
yeah,
physical football team.
right. But I'd
And
like to go back to that Belleville, Madisonville, though. I mean,
right.
I think Belleville is just. I think they're going to win that region now after seeing what they've done throughout the whole year. I
The
think there's a good chance they win that region three.
the
Now, it might.
Brahma,
I mean,
yeah.
you got Hampshire, but there.
Well,
So
I mean, you got Silsby. I mean,
right.
Silsby's
And I think Silsby's good, but I don't think they're as good as they
well,
have been.
they're
I think Belleville is that really good this year, and we'll
yeah.
see what
No,
happens.
I agree. I agree. And so it's Silsby's top receiver that was committed to Texas A&M. He was hurt in the game against Sealy last week. So I don't know. I don't know what his availability is tonight,
Right.
but I mean, if he can't go, then I think Silsby takes care of Gatesville tonight. But next week, boy, if Silsby and Belleville play, that that would be a really really good football game to observe as well. So Region 3 is tough. I think much tougher than Region 4. Um, so here we go. We're kind of counting down. We've got about 6 minutes here to kick off, and we've got the national anthem coming up. The Port Isabel Silver Tarpons are wearing their all blue pants, blue socks, white shoes, the blue jerseys with the white numbers, and they will be coming out tonight, uh, ready to go here against our Panthers. So,
Yeah.
anything else that you think is relevant? I mean, for tonight's football game, I mean, if you like running the football, this is the game to watch. If you like offensive linemen and you like you, things like that, this is certainly the football game for you in the Slot T Fest here this evening. So the Port Isabel folks are playing their fight song, and the
Or the
Panthers
alma
their
mater, yeah.
alma mater, and they they're the Panthers are coming around the field here with about 5 minutes to go here, and they are wearing their all white jersey, same uniforms as last week. Panthers
Right.
along the pants
At
in
least we'll be
white.
able to see them tonight on the blue field. They're not
That's
wearing
right.
purple, dark purple or anything to blend in with that blue. So,
That's right. Purple helmets with the
right.
N, and the white jerseys with the purple numbers for the Navarro Panthers. So as they make their way around, we've got there we go.
We got the fan cam or the
We got the fan cam, or the new addition, by the
right.
way, for the Navarro Panther Network. We've got a field camera now.
Yeah, I think that one's actually being used by our the cameraman is actually Mr. Scarborough helping us out.
Okay. So Principal Scarborough on the blue field is Scott Kibbe. Maybe I'll steal this from him. The
Right.
old Smurf turf.
Yeah, they now a little late entrance coming in here. So now we'll get ready for them to come through their little run. But I think tonight, let's go real quick. And
Keys to the game, right?
right, we'll go to the keys to the game. So, um, I think we'll pull those up real quick as the Panthers you'll see in the background too. Um,
So as they're pulling the keys to the game up,
okay.
I feel again the big key to the game tonight is going to be again play the Panther football, right? Tough,
Right.
physical, win the line of scrimmage. Obviously, slot T versus slot T.
Fundamentals, execution.
Excellent tackling, right?
Right.
That's a big one for me tonight because when you're playing a slot T football team, and as we get the national anthem.
So
Now we have to continue to the all-time wrestling. Listen to the all-time wrestling.
All right, here come your Panthers. So we are here live in Vaquero Stadium here in San Diego, Texas, where tonight your Navarro Panthers will take on the Port Isabel Silver Tarpons here in the area round, second round of the playoffs of the Texas high school football here in 4A Division II. My name's Lance Blacker, and I'm joined here by Hank Peter.
Yeah, we are here, Lance, and I'm just stoked about this, man. I think, having two slot T teams, the physicality, I mean, the pops we're going to hear tonight, it's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee you that.
Absolutely. Always fun with the Panthers play, and then here comes their Port Isabel Mighty Silver Tarpons with their
Yeah. Hell, they just go with Mighty Tarpons on there. I mean, it's like, so we'll cut it short, and we even heard their announcers at one time say they just call them the Tarpons, or PI, I'm like, okay. But mind you, though, you talked about it earlier pregame. They're big. They're strong up front on their defensive line. They may not move laterally as well, but man, you can't move them off the blocks too easy.
Not at all. They're a big, I was walking into the stadium and they were walking right by me. And they've got some big boys.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off the bus, they as they say,
Right.
they're going to impress you. There's no doubt. They've got a big physical offensive line and defensive line, and so it should be a good one tonight. Panthers captains. Number 32, Sonny or Hayden Tolliver. Number 3, Nick Swartzlosey. And number 21, Diego Chapa. Trying to make out exactly.
Yeah, looks like 72, Steven Martinez is one of the captains.
And he's their best offensive lineman. I think he plays a little bit both ways. They got number 24, who's a big physical running back there.
Yeah, Tristan Garcia. And number 3, they have Kevin Morales. And we've already talked about number 24. So we'll see.
In the final, captain, did we mention number 9?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Hey,
Galvan.
I can't. And we'll try to get the rosters up too as soon as the ball is kicked off to the team that received it. So.
Number 3, Kevin Morales. Number 9, Evan Galvan. Number 24, Tristan Garcia.
Port Isabel won the toss. Looks like they have deferred.
So
it looks like the Panthers
won the toss. So, yep, like you said, deferred, and now we're going to have the Panthers that will receive. So we get the ball first. Yeehaw!
All right.
So the Panthers will have the ball. Watch for an onside. Watch for anything early on. I mean, because these are times the playoffs. It's win or go home. So
that's right. I mean, so you never know exactly what the other team might do. I mean, and hey, Port Isabel. I was watching an interview from some of their boys from earlier in the year, and their goal is to make it past the second round where they were defeated last year. Not a better place to be here than San Diego. Here in San Diego, Texas. Here for area playoffs 4A Division II. If you like Texas high school football, you're in the right place.
Yeah, I got kind of my nerves are a little bit here. I'm like, I'm ready to get this thing started, but I'm excited and I'm a little nervous, but not nervous in a bad way, but nervous to see how this thing gets started. This blue field is just throwing me way off.
So they do kick it deep, and it bounces. It goes through Rangel's legs, but it will be a touchback. Rangel kind of scurried back there like he felt like it could be a fumble, but
Right. And even if you touch it,
right.
as long as you don't have possession of it, it's not a safety or anything. As long as it goes back past the goal line, it's a touchback.
That's right. So the Panthers will take over at their own 25 here to start the football game. Schulke leads them out.
Now wait for the play to actually come in. You would have thought they'd have the play coming in off of but Breitenkamp comes in with the play. So that tells you that it isn't always scripted.
That's right. Schulke under center. He fakes handoff. Looks like he wants to throw it. He does. He throws it down the field. He's got a receiver.
And he does.
That's Braddock Galani, and he pulls it in. He's drugged down right around the 25-yard line. But the first play of the game.
Here's Schulke, and he goes back.
It just throws a dart.
Oh, man, nice camera work by the students here. We didn't even touch on that, about the broadcast club. So here comes the Panthers.
So they will have the ball there now at the 27, 28-yard line. He hands it up the middle. That's going to be Schwartzlosey.
Yeah, Schwartzlosey gets a couple. We'll see here as they get to the line of scrimmage.
And so big pass play, first play of the game, right out of the chute. The Panthers go for the jugular.
Right.
Galani at center. Or I'm sorry, Hyman. He hands the ball this time. Mabane fakes in and out, but they swarmed up.
Yeah, that's one of those that they figured out right away. And
yeah, they did their homework and film work on that one, knowing, and I think that's probably a smart move by the Tarpons is, probably if you're the opposition, you don't want number one to
get to the outside. Yes, sir.
Well, to get to the outside as well. But
yeah, I mean, and that's what they did. They were able to string them out, and good job by the defensive line and backers.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And we had contact, so that's going to be an easy 5-yard gain for the Panthers on that flag. Let's see who jumped on that side. Yeah, we saw it in the middle there.
So the refs are having a pretty long conference about this, all 4 of them there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it looked clearly that there was contact that was made. Now, are they going to talk about having this done as far as a false start against the Panthers? But as we saw in the replay, you see, we go ahead and run that replay again. But no, they called it defense. But dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct goes against the Panthers. So, oh boy, this is not good to start off. Remember, that's one of the other things that the Panthers had been dealing with. But unless they, okay, now they're going to do 5 yards and then they're going to come back into the 15. Why didn't they just step it off 10? No, it's a ceremonial thing, to show, hey, we're showing the 5 yards back and now we're coming back. So
the Panthers will be pushed back here on 3rd down. And that'll be, the ball will be spotted. Schulke making confirmation, though. The ball is now spotted at the 36-yard line of the Tarpons. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 19. And so we've got a timeout.
Now with the 3rd and long for the Panthers, so they're in a almost passing situation unless they come up with something that, they're going to have to. Let's go ahead and get the QR code up here. So the Audiovisual Club, they had to travel all the way here down to San Diego. And so there is expenses that are incurred. But They are sponsored by Miss Wells, and so if you want to donate to the Audiovisual Club or the Broadcast Club, I kind of like the Navarro Broadcast Club,
Right.
and you could go up there with your smartphone, get the link, and then go to PayPal and make your donation 5, 10, 50, 100, whatever you feel like. We've had a $500
We
donation,
did
so
a few weeks back.
but we had a lot of good donations last week as well. So we'll we don't expect it, but we do thank you for it. Let's say that.
That's right. We certainly do. And
At least the students thank you for it. That's for sure.
so 9:56 here, just under 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Big pass play.
Oh yeah,
And then a very costly personal foul
Yeah.
penalty here because the Panthers would have had 5 yards. It should be 3rd and 4,
right.
but
Right.
instead it's 3rd and 19.
So
And so Panthers call timeout. What
Yeah.
do you think, Hank?
I think they're gonna. It's 2 downs to make a first down, so you're gonna go on 3rd and 4th. So they go in shotgun.
Shotgun formation. Schulke, he rolls and he
Oh.
just misses.
Oh,
Schwartzlosey.
why?
Schwartzlosey had, I would say, green,
Yeah.
but he had a ton of blue.
Yeah,
field
here
in
it
front of
is.
him.
Here on the replay, he just overshoots him. He comes out, nobody on him, and just overthrows me and had blockers down the field. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
He might have scored.
yeah, or at least we know he would have got the first down. So good camera work and everything. I don't know if it's the blue field, maybe it's but the Stutes are doing a great job tonight.
So the Panthers will go for it. It's 4th and 19 at the 36-yard line. Shotgun formation for Schulke. And there's flags everywhere. Probably going to be a false start, although one.
He's arguing that they're calling the snap count, for a delay of game. So we'll see what it was here. I don't know if it looked like one of the linemen there on that replay rocked back.
So Blunt doesn't like the call, and I didn't exactly see it.
It'll be a 20.
So now 4th and 24. Do you
Right.
consider pinning them deep, Hank, or do you?
Do you do a quick kick?
Or
Or,
do you- or
no,
just
I
go
think
ahead and go
you
for it?
rely on your defense on this. So
Schulke in the shotgun. He throws it.
down
He's got
the
a
seam.
receiver. and but he throws it low.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, Nick Schwartzlosey's in the yellow end zone celebrating, but he does pick up a good chunk of the yardage, but not a first down. It will be a turnover on down. So
Yeah, I mean, if he hits them in stride, hits them high, I think Schwartzlosey again on that one has it. So I like the pass plays though, that the attempts that are made, they're open.
we've got another flag. Looks like
Let's see if their false start's going to
false
go
start.
right away against the Tarpons. So let's see if we have that there on replay. Yeah, the linemen started moving a little early. I think that was on the front line.
So the Tarpons had the football. They were starting 1st and 10 from their 28-yard line. They will push that back there to about the 23 with the 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Silver Tarpons of Port Isabel. He hands it this time, coming to the near side, and he's
In the
tackled in the
backfield.
backfield there, and that was Arias.
So here's the
You
replay on
watch,
that.
you watch Arias here. He reads this immediately, shoots, fights through the trash, and
And
gets
there it is. Yeah.
gets his ankles.
Yeah, the whole place is shaking,
So that'll bring up the ball's at the 22. So 2nd and 16. They lose one. They hand it off. He gets the corner. He gets the edge, but he's drugged down there. And that's on Nick Schwartzlosey. But it looks like they're going to call a horse collar
Oh man.
personal foul.
Let's see. Here's the replay. I'm looking at the replay to see. Oh no, he pulls him down by the bottom of the jersey, almost to the. I mean, he went up high, but he didn't pull.
No.
So let's see if the officials pull the flag here, wave the flag, and we've seen that before in the past. Oh, wait, he pointed the wrong way. So.
Yeah, he pointed toward Port Isabel.
But
They did call it on Nick.
Yeah, they did call it there.
So we are on the home. Well, we are in the press box on the home side. You can see the Panther crowd as the visitor crowd on the other side. So if you hear, it's almost like they have these, it's not cowbells, but
Yeah,
it's
but the
almost like
clickers,
wranglers,
yeah,
little
the old
clickers. So
clickers.
if you hear that, that's the Port Isabel fan.
Yeah,
They hand it this time up the middle
yeah,
and to number 24, and that is
yeah. Wow, we'll see this on the replay right in the middle. I mean, the Panthers, really try to get. I mean, wow, Arias was in there early and man made a big hit, along with number 52 of the Panthers, and that was Cade Pugh in on that tackle as well.
yeah, and that's their big back, number 24, Tristan Garcia, and he's a bruiser, but man, he's got to get going, and this time they're going to throw it. Their quarterback, number 15, he rolls to the right. He throws it. Oh, and it's almost intercepted. Is that Rangel?
Yeah, well, it was
Sure.
Yeah, he was looking for his 8th one. Here it is as he goes up. Oh, he had it too. Oh, right there.
I'm not sure.
That would have been his 9th one. He would have broke the school record for interceptions in a season.
And I'm not sure who he was throwing to on that one. That was that's Brian Martinez.
Oh, the quarterback's coming out a little gimpy over here, I thought, isn't it?
Yeah,
and he's being replaced by number 17, and that's Abraham Sandoval.
So Martinez is walking it off here on the.
Now we see another slot team in a shotgun type formation.
Way back in the Wildcat, actually.
Yeah.
And that's the running back, number 21. Fast little sophomore running back. But the Panthers are all over. That's Luis Ramos.
And Matt Richardson comes just charging in the backfield and causes, all sorts of havoc. Even though he doesn't make the tackle, he was there.
So it looks like it's going to force the Tarpons to punt. And
if it hadn't been for penalty yardage, I don't think the Tarpons had a single yard on that drive other than penalty yardage.
And that's Edwin Garza, their star
this is
linebacker.
Short punt. So the Panthers need to watch it.
It takes a sideways roll and a Panther roll there at the end. Panthers have excellent field position. Looks like at their own 42.
Now, both teams had a chance to kind of feel things out here. And so what you're seeing now is, both teams, you've seen both teams throwing the ball a little or trying to throw the ball and doing those different things. I think you see the Panthers go back to more of a power game here. And, you never know. But if you're going to throw the ball, you throw it on 1st or 2nd down. You don't try to throw it on 3rd unless you absolutely have to.
That's right. I would agree with that. So Panthers up to the line. That's Schulke. He hands it off. That Schwartz a big hole. He's running hard as always. And he's got a good 8-9 yards. Just past the 50. Into the Tarpon territory. Panthers bring up 2nd short.
Yeah, nice job by the offensive line to create that seam. That little pop there.
They hand it again.
Oh, he's going to be close. I think he's going to get it, though.
Where they mark it. The referees are walking right at the sticks. Looks like they are going to move it. That'll be a Panther 1st down. So Panthers got the ball at the Tarpon 48-yard line here in the 1st quarter with 6:35 to go. Schulke hands it this time, and he can't see who's running.
Yeah.
They're fighting for yardage. Looks like they're getting a nice spot.
Yeah, let's see. This is Cropper.
That was Cropper, yeah.
Inside handoff. And, he had a space. If he pops outside of Richardson there and he goes to the outside, he would have had an easy 3 or 4 more yards. But we can see that from here.
That's right.
On a replay.
That's right.
So
we've got a little bit better.
Yeah, we got an advantage.
A little bit of advantage.
But when you take 5 yards on first play, that's what I'm talking about. So we see the Panthers go back to a power game.
So, again.
Oh, we didn't get – we had the I think it was Mac Berry. He goes down. If you watch, he rocks forward. He didn't get quite set because he wasn't, you'll see, just barely. I mean, that is, woo.
So
It's kind of splitting hairs there. You know, it's kind of like where you're looking at where he's just getting down and trying to get settled.
right.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's actually a simulation of a start of a play. When you're just getting settled in your stance and you lean forward as you're settling in, I don't see that. We see that replay. We can go ahead and look at that one real quick. Cut into that. Just hit cut. Oh, we didn't get to see it there. Okay.
So the referee is over there
Yeah.
talking to Coach Blunt, explaining the situation, and again,
I don't see it as I don't see that as a penalty when you're rocking to get into your stance. It would be different if you're already in your stance and you rock forward. And
so as the white hat goes over, he's explaining him and the line judge explaining the situation to Coach Blunt.
yeah, and maybe Coach Blunt was, hey, look, if we weren't offsides, they definitely were. You know, because we saw Port Isabel come in, the Tarpons come in, and but I think they're going to wave this off. We're going to start all over, and yeah, I mean because they haven't moved the ball, the officials are going back to their spots. So here we go.
So here we go. Brings up 2nd and 5 from their own 43, or the Tarpons 43-yard line, as the play comes in. So no score here from San Diego, Texas, here in the first quarter. Area around. Handoff. The ball's on the ground. Let's see who's got it. He tried to hand it off to Swartzlosey, and the ball's on the ground. And
boy. Can't afford
the
those.
Tarpons from Port Isabel have recovered. So that's the first turnover of the game. And I couldn't tell if that was a mishandle by the quarterback exchange, or if that was just a flat out drop there by Swartzlosey. But nonetheless, they will take over at the 43-yard line, their own 43. The Tarpons are handed up the middle. They've got a little bit of room and some push. And that was number 24. 24 is their big back, fullback, Tristan Garcia.
Yeah, and he gets a little more yardage, I think, this time than we've seen the entire game for the Tarpons. So that's the biggest gain from the line of scrimmage.
So the quarterback for Martinez is back in. He hands it this time to number 9, going around trying to get the edge from the Panthers, but doesn't quite get it. Picks up a couple.
Right? I think they may give him a yard on that or so, and let's see. And good job by and I think that was Nick Swartzlosey slicing in and making, the ankle tackle.
Yeah. You're all 48 gun lines.
Switch. We can switch. All right, here we go. Handoff this time, coming to the near side. He's got some room. Oh, and an ankle tackle there. Thank goodness by Rangel. Otherwise, Luis Romas was going to the house.
Yeah, and that's where you miss some of your, your defensive end, Taylor. It's not in tonight. So that's where you miss him on that Rod side. But that was actually good execution and blocking by Port Isabel.
So I'll give it one of those for Rangel getting that tackle.
Yeah, because
and again, a nice run there. Panthers swarm to the football, but not before he picks up 4 or 5 yards there for the Tarpons.
Yeah, and that's way too much yardage. Now, we talked about this first down. They hadn't been very consistent on first down, but tonight on this drive alone, they've gotten 4 or 5 yards on first down on their first down plays. So
he gets 6 on that, Hank.
Yeah,
that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4. He hands this time up the middle. He's got a huge hole and a first down and more. He's tripped up there. And again, that was Garcia, the big back.
Yeah, and everything is in a high power slot, and they go off to the left side and getting way too much off of that left side of the Panther defense. I mean, the right side of that Panther defense, left side of the offensive line of Port Isabel.
So Port Isabel's got the ball and driving here in the first quarter. Ball on the 29-yard line of the Panthers. Hands this time 22. He's following his right guard. He gets the corner, and he's pulled down. Slow developing play, but that's Arias.
Yeah.
Again, fighting through the trash to get and make the tackle.
Yeah, Arias gets around there, and you see him making the play from behind. Big play, though. Now, second down, so this is what we wanted to at least have the Port Isabel limited. So
Jose Ocho with the carry. Nice carry. Although it looks like they only gave him 2 yards, 2.5. 2nd and 8. They run it back to this side. Same play. He's trying to get the corner.
Yeah. Good job by stretching it out by the Panthers there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure they were having some success hitting up
Right.
the middle against the Panthers. I'm not sure why they.
Just the off tackle sweep,
He does get a couple more yards. It's going to bring it to a very manageable 3rd and 4 here for the Tarpons. They have the ball at the 23-yard line, and they're sucking up that clock here in the first quarter. They hand it this time. He's going to be close. He's down to around the 20. It looks like they're going to mark it around the 20.
Yeah, Diego
One.
Chapa just comes in here, flies in here, and is able to get a hold of the ankle and make the tackle there. And so nowhere to go. So 4th down and about, 2.5 really here. They've got to get to the 19. So 4th and 2, big play for both teams early in this game. So we're going to wake up the Panthers here.
So in the middle of the defense, at defensive tackle, we've got Delaney and Richardson. They hand it. He's going to have a first down and more. He gets hit. Swartzlows, he does bring him down, but he gets down to about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the big back, Garcia, that is able to just find enough of the seam as the fullback and is able to make good yardage. So right now, the time at 1:05, Port Isabel is driving.
1st and 10 from the 16 for the Tarpons. He hands it up the middle. This time, it's Arias again, and Arias is almost in on every play, Hank.
Right. He's been the backer, but you see him, he's up in a run blitz, and the Panthers are right there, and man, he's basically already on the ground, but in the right spot on the ground as he goes in and makes the tackle.
So 2nd and 9, pickup of 1, 30 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. Port Isabel's had the ball for several minutes here, driving the football.
Yeah, and they're content with just taking their time.
So Martinez runs. He's got a receiver. He catches it. That's Garcia, but it's a minimal gain. It's not going to be a first down. Down inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Oliver goes and he finds Garcia out there, and he runs him down and takes him down. A good tackle, wraps him up. So right now we're at the end of the first quarter, 0-0 with the Panthers and the Tarpons all knotted up at 0. So we'll check in on a score with some of the other games when we get a chance here.
So the Port Isabel Silver Tarpon fans are on their feet here.
Oh yeah. Well, Sinton's up on Laga Vista 10-0. Wembley's up on Orange Grove 14-0. And Bandera is losing to Ingleside 21-20. That's a pretty high scoring game.
Wow.
But they have already been playing for a while, so they're in the 3 minutes left in the first half.
Okay.
And then the Gobblers up on Hampshire 20-7 with a minute 25 remaining in that first quarter.
Good.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. All right, so the ball will be spotted right at the 10-yard line, and it'll bring up about a 3rd and 5.
So now
Martinez under center. He hands it up the middle to Garcia, and the Bears got him. But he's driving, and actually he gets a push from his offensive line there, and which is perfectly legal. And they're going to push it down there, and they are going to wave him through for the first down.
Oh, my
For
goodness.
the Tarpons.
So, yeah, 1st and goal. You know, initially the Bear was there, but he got him a little high, and Tristan Garcia was low enough to drive through him, and then the rest of the line came in to help out.
Came in, gave him the tush push.
Right. And which is perfectly legal nowadays.
So 1st and goal here for the Silver Tarpons. Let's go Panther defense. Now he hands it coming to the right side, or I'm sorry, going off to the left. He's not in. He's pulled down by the Bear.
Yeah, Jose Ochoa. Ochoa goes down and just a little short, and right there.
We're going to mark it about the 2, Hank.
Yeah, and you had most of the front line of the Panthers, along with the linebackers, were right there.
So, again, very similar styles. They run into plays like the Panthers do from the sideline. So 2nd and goal here from the 2-yard line. Martinez under center. He hands it, same play. Garcia, and he's in the end zone. And that's a Tarpon touchdown. They will take the lead. And they are up 6-0, pending the extra point.
So 6-0 here.
The hold is down. The kick is up. And it is a high kick.
Yeah.
But it is good.
Yeah, the Lewis.
Number 11 there.
Oh, here you go.
There for the Silver Tarpons.
Luis
it through to put them up 7-0.
Luis, oh, here you go. Gets that through. So now the Panthers have some work cut out for them, as you know, Port Isabel's come out fired up and coming in and making the plays that they needed to make off that Panther turnover. So, you know, Panthers with that turnover gave that momentum a switch. You know, you can see it swing right over to Port Isabel. Now it's up to the Panthers to see if they can take it and get the ball, go down, tie it up, and we'll see what happens.
So that was a 57-yard drive there by the Silver Tarpons from Port Isabel. And great drive by them. You know, just churned it out. I think they had a pass play. It wasn't a big one, 4 or 5 yards. But most of it, the rest of it was on the ground. So let's see if the Panthers can answer here.
Yeah. Well, I do have an update. The Running Lady Panthers are playing in Forestville tournament, and they went 3-1, and they're playing for 3rd place out of 18 teams. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. versus San Antonio Taft, they'll play for 3rd. And that's against 5A and 6A teams they've been playing in that tournament at Forestville.
That's right. Nice start there for the Lady Panthers in basketball. So the kick goes and bounces. Again, Rangel's going to let it roll into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. Panthers will take over here in the 2nd quarter, down 7-0 with 10:45 to go here at their own 25.
Yeah, so, you know, Rangel does a good job of not trying to create, try to pull this one in, because if he doesn't get it in cleanly, and he can't get out of a bad situation there, because you can't call a fair catch, you can't do that. So that was a good move, I think, by Rangel. I said Garcia, I think, earlier.
Yeah. So Panthers, hey, you know, they got to step it up here.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
I talked about this earlier, the fumbles.
Yeah.
Fumbles will hurt you.
Yeah, turnovers are the great equalizer, as they would say.
They are. As we see that in all levels of football. And let's see what the Panthers can do. They come out, Shoki under center here at the 25. He hands it this time. That's Mabane. Runs into the back of his guard, and he's pulled down quickly there. That was number 72, Martinez.
Yeah,
First man there. And
yeah. And Martinez is just trying because really, I think that was caused by one of the interior linemen, defensive linemen of the Port Isabel Tarpons. And so now we have a injury timeout right now. So as we talk about that, as they tend to the player, we'll talk about a few things. We'll go ahead and get the QR code up for the broadcast club, and so the broadcast club here at Navarro, the students are looking to get some donations. So if you take your smartphone, you go and get the code, and we'll go from there. So we want you to go and get the link and then make your donations, whatever it is, $5, $10. Just think, if you're watching it here, you didn't have to drive 2.5 hours or more.
That's right. That's right. And 2.5 hours home.
All right, yeah, that's right. 5 hours on the road total.
So all donations are welcomed, and thank you and much appreciated here at the Navarro Panther Network. So it looks like there was a loss there for the Panthers of 1 yard. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11 from their own 24. 10-20 and counting here in the second quarter. Panthers down. Schulke under center. Hands it up the middle. That's Guerra. Guerra's tripped up, but he gets a sizable gain there, 4 or 5 yards.
All right, brings up a third down. Then we got a whistle. Stoppage of play here. At least I heard the whistle. I thought I did. No, I guess not.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here from the 29-yard line. What do you do, Hank? You throw the football?
At third down, it might be expected here, but you might have no choice at that. But we've seen most every pass play had somebody open, so I could see it.
Schulke is going to throw. He's rolling to his right. He's got a receiver or two. He throws it. He launches it deep.
Oh,
There's a flag down, and that was Mac Berry, and it almost looked like if he kept running,
he would have easily made the first down, I think. So here is the replay. He throws it, but it looks like when his body was behind the line, I don't know if they're going to say illegal forward pass, but his parts of his body looked like it was still there.
I agree with you. I think he could have picked that up with his feet.
Right.
He was trying to go for the big play there, and Mac was open.
Yeah, that was one of the times, yes, that I know, but Mac was open, but it had to be a perfect throw.
100%. And a long throw. And that's not our nature, and that's not what we do. Right. Although we've been more successful with the pass this year.
So we're looking here at the white hat. So they're talking to Coach Villarreal of the Tarpons and telling him the situation. But I think the Panthers either way are going to bring their punt team in.
So it does look like it is against the Panthers. 4th down. And
here's the call.
It will be. So it's holding, declined.
Illegal forward pass against the Panthers, lost it down, so that'll make it 4th down.
So it is 4th down. I know the marker on the other side of the field says 3rd down, but it is 4th down. Now this is interesting because Landon Taylor is out for this game.
Right.
So he usually punts for the Panthers. So we have a new punter, Mac Berry.
Yep.
So let's see. And they've got number 24 back for the Tarpons there, Garcia.
And he's the big bruising back.
You
don't think of him as the back that would return punts or kicks.
So nice snap. The kick is up. And it sends it a little bit off the side of his foot. Takes a great Panther roll, though. Incredible Panther roll for about 10, 12, 15 yards there.
Yeah, best part of that, no return.
No return. And they will take over at their own 35-yard line here in full control of the football game. So Panther defense, it's time to step up, fellas.
Yeah, this is where, you've got to make it happen. Yeah, I mean, you got to make plays.
Yeah, because you don't want to go down 2 scores in this football game. And the Panthers do throw the ball better than what they have in the past. But
yeah, you got to do a little bit more.
So they run it this time up the middle. The Panthers are there. He picks up a couple of yards, minimal gain there, so
Mm-hmm.
should bring up 2nd and long. So first 3 drives for the Panthers tonight was downs. They fumbled on their 2nd possession and they punted on their 3rd possession. So
Right.
good job there by the Tarpon defense. So 2nd and 8. Martinez under center. He hands it off this time, and that's Garcia, and he's met quickly. And that looks like that was Galaney.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, he's from the defensive end. Watch the defensive end on the opposite side of the field there.
Yeah, he just slides down the line, makes the tackle. Good job. Yeah, he was the first one there, and he came all the way from the outside, goes down the line, reads the play, and actually goes across 2 bodies to get there, 2 bodies of the offensive line.
So 3rd and 6 here, and it looks like there's going to be timeout here for the Tarpons.
Yeah, timeout for the Tarpons. So, do you have any updates for us and any other events? I was going to check with you, and I didn't get a chance, but I know we just talked about the Running Lady Panthers playing tomorrow at 10 o'clock against San Antonio Tap in the Forestville tournament.
And Panther basketball, boys basketball started this week as well, and they won their first basketball game. Oh, I'm sorry. They lost. I apologize. They lost to Lavernia in their first game there at home. So not sure who they play next, but they will have another game here this coming week. So, and you talked about the girls, and the only thing I have is the volleyball playoffs. We talked about it. Davenport has advanced to the state championship game tomorrow, and they will be playing Amarillo Randall.
We knew they were good, but I didn't really know they were that good.
And Randall is the defending state champions. So good luck to the. Well, I'm going to root for our district. So good luck to the Davenport Wolves there. They throw it on that play. It's incomplete. He's trying to hit Ramos out of the backfield, the young sophomore.
Yeah, if he hits Ramos in stride, that could have went, really bad for the Panthers, but really good for Port Isabel.
There is a flag.
Yeah, we saw a flag come in. So there's holding against, so that is decline. It brings up 4th down. So Port Isabel has a 4th down and 6 coming up here, and they're going to punt the ball. And this is more punting than I've seen in a long while. I mean,
defensive battle here in San Diego, Texas, with 8 minutes left here in the second quarters.
Yeah, the Smurf Field here has some kind of
magical,
hold
mystical,
on them.
On these offenses. So, but again, both these offensive teams, they practice against this all year, year after year. So, the kicker is number 20, their star linebacker there. And the ball goes out of bounds. Looks like around the 32-yard line. That was Garza. Edward Garza with a nice punt and a good roll there for the Tarpons. No return.
Yeah, so now the Panthers get another opportunity.
So the Panthers will take over at their own 32, be 1st and 10, and we got to let's give them. I got to give them something to get going here.
So we had a flag, and now let's see what we've got, because at the end of the play, something else went on, and we're trying to determine. Oh, there it was, the call.
The call is against the Panthers. So they're going to move them back. I mentioned that we were going to start at our own 32, but it looks like they're going to be pushed back a little further than that.
Yeah, we used to be okay with that. Yeah, it used to be okay with starting further back, but and taking that clock and taking it all the way down after you score. But it's imperative that the Panthers get a good drive here. They haven't had a good, consistent drive this entire game, and we were talking about that about Port Isabel, but now the tide has turned a little bit here, and it's been the Panthers that haven't been able to be consistent with it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 22, 7:51 left. He hands it this time. He's looking for room. That's Mabane coming to the near side. And there was almost a little bit of some extracurricular activities.
Yeah, and both sides want a flag. I mean, and so we
and
have.
I'm not, and you know, Hank, I'm not sure because we think we keep hearing a whistle.
Yeah,
but
I did.
I don't know if maybe the Panthers or some of the Tarpon players are, not hearing the whistle, hearing a whistle. It's
it's kind of
a little.
I thought I heard one earlier, but if there's one out in the crowd, that's actually illegal to have during a football game, and you could be tossed.
So it's 2nd and 2. So nice gain there of 8 by Antoine Mabane. I'm sorry, 2nd and 2, and that's Cohen Blunt, and Cohen Blunt is going to have at fullback.
And that play was read right away by the linebacker coming in and making a tackle. I think that was Tristan Garcia, who's normally the fullback, comes in as the middle linebacker and makes a huge play. But not enough. Not enough to stop the Panthers from getting the first down.
Right. So first down there by the Panthers. Cohen Blunt did a lot of that on his own. So let's see if that sparks the Panther offense here to
get things going.
They hand it this time. They pull Mabane. Mabane's fighting through. If he gets loose, he's gone. Oh, and they finally throw him down right by the Cowboy horse. But now Mabane, I thought he was injured, but I think he's just more upset, thinking, oh, man, I had one.
And he went up the middle and got the ball, and that was him right there. Mabane was able to read his blocks well, but he looks a little too patient. He's hesitant. At a point, it's okay to be patient, but not too patient, because then it makes you look hesitant and you get more of the defense to surround you. So he's got to hit the hole a little quicker, I think, here.
So they hands off this time. That's Chapa. Chapa's fighting yard, and now the Panthers starting to pick up some chunk yardage here against the Port Isabel defense.
Yeah, now the Panthers are doing what they're used to doing, moving the football right up the field. We got a flag on the play that came in, and it blended in with the logo, so it was hard to tell.
But Chapa picks up a nice chunk. Looks like another.
So there is a flag.
There is a flag, yes. So the white hat pulls up. Chop block
against the
personal
Panthers.
Foul. Man,
the 15-yard variety there.
Hank, I talked about this at the beginning of the broadcast, the pregame. Fumbles and penalties.
Yeah. And those are the great equalizers.
Those have killed us tonight.
Yeah.
So.
And the Panthers had that unsportsmanlike. There for a while, that was the only yardage that Port Isabel had, was the penalty yardage. But then on the next drive after a turnover, which you were just talking about, that turnover, I think just swung the momentum in their favor, and they were able to go down and score the 7 points that they have now.
Just when the Panthers are, like I said, ripping off some chunk yardage, Mabane with a big run, 8-yard run, they got a first down. That was a big run there by Chapa, another 8-9 yards, and then the penalty will back them up back into their own territory again. So that'll bring up a 1st and 25. Ball at the 37-yard line. Whistles again. Very sloppy football game tonight here in San Diego, Texas. We thought, Hank, this was going to be a quick game with two running offenses.
Yeah, well, when you have penalties and those sorts of things, it could start to slow the game way down, too.
Yeah, right. So let's see what we have here. Panthers are in a big enough hole. They need to get all the way down to the 38-yard line of the Silver Tarpons. And the white hat, the other thing is the Blunt doesn't seem happy. Now, it's taken these officials quite a long time to sort things out on every single call. So, it's. So he's running the clock. He says, "Okay, well, here we go."
Yeah, we just
no flag. I think they're just trying to figure out what down it was. So shotgun for Schulke. He hands it this time. That's Mabane out of the shotgun, but he's going to be lassoed down. He's still fighting, though.
Oh, yeah, still gets good yards.
Yeah, he got 3 or 4 extra yards. He should have been pulled down, inside the 40-yard line, but he fights out to the 43.
And yeah, wow, nice hard run there after getting contact 5 yards back. He
Right.
got another 5 yards just driving. He was holding on that ball and pulling that ball with him. So good job of holding on to the ball.
So again, second and very long, 19 yards to go for the Panthers. Schulke's going to throw it. He's rolling to his, he winds up. He's got a receiver, and he's got that ball. It's caught by Nick Schwartzlow. No, I'm sorry. Barry. I'm sorry. I had mistake the 5 for the 3. But
Yeah.
that is a touchdown.
And nice throw. Puts
There.
it on a dime.
That was a 57-yard Panther touchdown there from Schulke to Barry. And I
Yeah.
mean, he just dropped it in there. And
Man.
beautiful.
Panthers needed that, that's for sure. And the right time to pull it out. So
Mac Berry, the tight end. The Panthers going for 2. And
they're
he
gonna-
gets it. Rangel running to the right side, although here's a late flag.
oh my goodness. But we'll see what the call is. 8 points with the question mark as we have it here.
Just when I thought we'd go one play without a flag.
Oh, man. It's kind of reminiscent of that Lavernia game. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. So here's the call. It's good.
A personal foul goes
Against
to
the Panthers.
but it's
Another.
after the play, so it's going to be enforced on the kickoff. So the Panthers are going to be pushed back 15 yards. So that, that we're seeing this more often now. It looks like the officials are trying to get control of the game when they do that. But we saw last week very few flags, if any. Now this week we're seeing a ton of them. So now the Panthers take the lead, though, with that 2-point conversion.
They do.
And that's the big thing. So we'll give it a big. And you know what? For the first time tonight, we can do this.
So here we go. Panthers find some life here on the offensive side of the football after being backed up 2nd and 19. Hit a 57-yard touchdown pass to go up 8-7 here with 4:39 left here in the second quarter. But on the 2-point conversion, another penalty against our Panthers. That's going to probably put pretty good field position up, or should, depending on the kick.
Right.
There's not a lot of wind tonight, so
Yeah.
almost a perfect night for football.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, if you're looking at just for a pure football game, as far as very little wind and the humidity is not bad.
Right.
Everything is just picture perfect.
It's a gentle, soft 3 to 5 mile an hour breeze. Yeah, just very comfortable here in South Texas. So here we go. Landon Taylor also kicks off on occasion. You've also got Hyman. Looks like he's gonna kick it tonight. It does not look like Sneed is playing tonight.
So that might be the reason it went for 2, not just for that mere fact.
That's probably right. And then so you got Hyman. Hyman kicks it. It goes up. It's caught, and it's going to be returned. And again, that's Garcia, and he returns it onto the Panthers side of the football. So they're going to be in plus territory here at about, looks like, the 45-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah, and Tolliver comes in and makes the push along with, it looks like Davidson was there as well. So now the Panthers need to play defense.
Yeah.
It's a matter of let's waking them up again.
So again, we've got another delay here.
Yeah, I mean, this is delay after delay.
I'm not sure. And again, it seems like it's It
No.
doesn't look like there's a penalty flag on the field.
I see an official, the head official, tying his shoe though. So
Okay, there you go. That's what it was. That's what it was.
it probably was. Somebody said, "Hey, look, you're going to fall over yourself. Hey, your shoe's untied."
So Martinez back under center at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10. He hands it off straight up the middle. And the Panthers read that again. That's Arias down there dragging him down by his ankles. He picks up, looks like 1. They're going to mark it.
I think Arias took his. I thought he looked like he took his shoes off here, and hanging on for dear life there.
So again, that was Tristan Garcia, who's been the workhorse tonight. And we haven't seen Andrew LeBlanc. We thought he was going to play tonight. The Navarro coaches were expecting him to play tonight, but he is not in the football game, and that's a huge, huge loss. That's probably their best running back over there for the Tarpons. Speedy back. They hand it off to number 22, straight up the middle. That's
job.
Owen Blunt leading the charge, and he does not get but another maybe yards. So that's going to bring up 3rd. Well, they're going to give him 2, so that'll bring up 3rd and 7.
And he grabs him. He's big enough to hold on to him and pull him backwards from behind. And so that's a big, big play. Oh, no, the Panthers are trying to substitute out while the other – okay, so Port Isabel's substituting out. I thought it was a little late, but the Bears come in, and we call Big Houston Berry the Bear.
The Bear.
Or at least he started that one.
Richardson, yes. Richardson goes out. They block. Oh, but he's drugged down from behind. That's
again
by Arias.
Yeah, Arias must have at least 5 to 6 tackles tonight thus far. He's really come up. Look at this play. He comes up and he does the alligator roll when he wraps up. So now you got a Port Isabel player down. So we'll take a quick break as well and talk about a few things here.
Well, I was going to say, it's a good thing Arias made the tackle there because he did have some blue turf, Smurf turf in front of him. That was Louis Ramos, and he's fast. He's a fast little sophomore back. And we've got the QR code up there for those of you who want to donate to the Navarro Broadcasting Club here. And they made a long trip today, so they probably well deserve a couple dollars here or there, right?
Yeah. And not just for pay for them, but it's for the expenses, the food, the gas, the the equipment. They're taking the time to do this to better themselves for the future. I mean, this they could put on a resume. So it's a pretty big deal, and so anything that you donate can help. And I think we're working on getting some more cameras and some more other equipment. So once we get all that, I think we'll be able to kind of be competing with those big 4-letter networks over there.
So it looks like we've got another injured running back there for the Tarpons. So that's a big hit for them. It could be a big loss there.
Now it looks like they're helping off, and I mean, and we're only speculating on what it is. We're not saying what it is, but we know that the player, number 21,
that was the running back on the last play there.
Luis Ramos.
And it looks like that the Tarpons are electing to punt, so that's going to bring in Garza. Edward Garza to punt here for the Tarpons, which
then
they started the drive at the 45. They're down to the Panther 40.
Yeah, and that was because of the kick as well, the short kick, because and the return by Tristan Garcia. So they take their timeout, I believe. I didn't see who took it.
So they want to pin the Panthers deep.
Yeah, I think they're going with the
and I don't know. This is interesting though because if this is like you said, do or die. If you're the Tarpons, do you have a play? It's 4th and 5. It's not 4th and 20. It's 4th and 5. Do you have a play that you can pull out of the bag here?
Right, and I would think that if you're going to do anything, it's going to be something to do with a fake punt or a design play out of the punt formation. So you do have 2 wideouts, that you always have as gunners.
And the Panthers don't have anyone deep, so they are expecting a fake here or a possible fake.
Oh, that was a false start. So we see it here. We'll see it on the replay. Hopefully on the right side, we see movement Right now, you'll see the movement of scooting back of the tackle that's lined up right there. He rocks back both on each side, the wing and the tackle.
So I think that pretty much puts the fake off if there was
Yeah.
one called, or
Yeah.
at least I would hope so if I was a Tarpon fan.
I don't know. Yeah.
You never know. It's 4th and 10, but I think they're just going to try to
Ooh.
pin them deep. High snap. The kick is up. The kick is
Wow, it's so short.
a
It was
short kick, and it bounces at the 30 and take a Panther bounce. Panthers have
Right.
excellent field position, and if you look at it, Hank, they really didn't gain
Right.
anything.
Watch how close it is to get it. It looks like, oh man, you
Yeah.
know, I was
Yeah.
pointing. I hit the glass out here. You know,
Well,
it looks so clear. I can point right at it.
But if you look at the positive gain there, I mean, it was almost like you should have went for it.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so the Panthers will take over.
Yeah. The gain that you had, I mean, that was 10 yards, and you essentially got a little more than 10 yards.
So the Panthers will take over at their own 31. They hand it. No, he fakes it. He's going to throw it. He's got Mac Berry again. The same play to the other side. And Berry's drug out of bounds there at the 30-yard line. So much for pinning him deep.
And look at Berry get to the outside, a nice run on a deep out.
And he's wide open.
Yeah. And he took and made it more like a flag route. So now the Panthers are on the move here with 2:23 remaining in the first half.
So Panthers have plenty of time. 2 timeouts remaining, 2:20 on the clock. They've got 1st and 10 there. They hand it, this time up the middle.
Yeah, they tried to sneak that one in there.
And that was Swartzlosey.
Yeah, they tried to get him on that quick trap. Couldn't quite get him. And one of the players for Port Isabel actually took himself out of play by going way to the outside.
So he hands it this time, coming to the near side's Mabane, and he's going to try to get the corner. He does. He stands him. He runs out of bounds. And if he just hadn't lost his balance, Hank, I think he'd be dancing in the end zone right now.
More block. You see it here. And he looks like he's just slowing down to, like, I thought there was a whistle or something, and he slows down to a point where I thought, well, maybe there's a flag or something. Didn't it look very awkward the way I mean, it wasn't just like he almost stopped, but he was watching the player that was coming up to see which direction he was going to go, and then he made the opposite move. Great job by Mabane.
So 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, handoff to Chapa off to the right side, and he drops the ball, but luckily he fumbles, and it looks like who jumped on that? The Panthers. That was Swartzlose. He falls on it. Otherwise, there was a host of Tarpons there to jump on it.
Yeah, luckily Swartzlose back. Oh, I hit the glass again. So, I want to touch the screen that we have up here that shows the replays.
So minute 20, Swartzlose. Oh, I'm sorry. Schulke's running around. He's going to run it this time. He slides.
And so,
right around the 5-yard line, but
Panthers called the timeout here.
They do.
Yep. So they're down to 1 as well. As Schulke gets to the outside, he slides, but he was already in contact at the time he was sliding, so they didn't call a penalty, and I understand why now after seeing the replay. At first, I was like, wait, he's sliding, but the player already had a hold of him at that point. So right now, the Panthers, want to not only take the lead, but take a 2-score lead here, or at least a 1-score lead. And if you go for that 2-point conversion again and make it, are they going to do that, or because their kicker's not here? Sneed's not here.
I would
what
think
do you
so.
do?
I think
we didn't even talk about that.
And what's funny though is backup kicker is Landon Taylor.
Yeah, who's not here?
Who's not here either as well. And so Gabe Rangel I've heard can kick as well, but
we saw him do some warm-ups there.
But they're elected not to use him so far. But what I think is interesting here is the Panthers are taking control and command of this football game, and I'm kind of surprised that the Tarpons are caught so off guard on our passing, because we've passed the ball very well, especially the past
especially Schulke to Mac Berry has been a great connection tonight.
Right. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5, and they hand it off this time, but he's almost to the goal line. He picks up a 1st down.
Yes. What a hard run. I'm going to give him the old choo-choo here. Because look at this run at the end as he fights off a couple of players, and while the block is there too, you see Nick Swartzels, he continue his block, which allows Mabane to get push that player off and is able to get the yardage for the first down. So first and goal by the Panthers.
First and goal at the 1 yard line. We got whistles.
Yeah, timeout now, Port Isabel. Their last time out. So Port Isabel wants to, talk about this and see what they. I mean, a lot of options here for the Panthers being that close, being at the essentially they got the ball spotted at the 1. So with the ball being at the 1 yard line, we have we have several opportunities, but you have only one timeout remaining, so you can't do anything. You can't do anything too tricky because you don't want the ball on the ground. And so to me, just keep it in the quarterback's hand for this first play and let him just drive it in. Something like a tush push, but just drive them in mano a mano. See what you can do. Even though they have a very big defensive line, and but if you can get under them and you can make that push, you can easily get in there. But let's see what the Panthers do. I don't know. You might just go with a
Swartzlosey.
and go up and just a dive play, essentially what we would call it. And
right. Either one, I don't think you can go wrong. You've got 4 chances here. You've got a timeout. You've got 56 seconds left.
I would run the what Wimberley used to call ours is a basketball play. I would like to see the basketball play. And for those of you out there, you'd probably know which one I'm talking about.
So Panthers huddle up. They've got it here. Getting ready to trying to take firm control of this football game. It is Swartzlosey. He is spun around, and he's in.
Oh, he's in.
He's in. It looks like they might have swung him out, but Swartzlosey fights his way into
Let's
the end
see here.
zone.
Watch the end of this as he still keeps going and he stretches out. So
extra second effort there gets Swartzlosey the touchdown. And again, the Panthers line up to go for 2. Up 14-7 with a 2-point conversion. He pitches it again to Rangel. Rangel's going to throw it. He throws it.
Oh, and he gets it.
Oh, but there's a flag again.
Again.
And that's Breitenkamp catches it for now for the 2-point conversion. So they ran the pitch last time, pitch sweep to Rangel, and this time they run the pitch sweep, but he picks up and throws it.
So now, yes, now we're looking at the white hat trying to see what I'm trying to see who he's going to talk to, and usually if they talk to the captains of the Panthers, so the Panthers looks like, let's see, pass interference is the call. It looks like pass interference is going to go against the Panthers, so backs them way up. It's a 10, that's a 15-yard penalty in high school ball, so it takes it all the way back to the 18-yard line. So it's not a spot foul. So now the Panthers are coming from way back. $18 yards out is the now. Oh no, we do have Sneed out there.
Sneed is out there. He's kicking. This is a long extra point.
And is it?
It's good. He barely gets it over, but it is good and makes it 15-7. And great job there. I don't know why they haven't been using Sneed tonight. He hadn't been kicking off, and he wasn't in on the first couple, but they asked him to go out there and kick that one. So we'll see. We'll see if he makes an appearance here on the kickoff. But Panthers up now with the Swartzlosey touchdown, 1-yard touchdown from Nick Swartzlosey, the senior fullback, and strong safety. Panthers up in firm control at this point, 15-7. And, I haven't seen, Hank, at least on film, I haven't seen Port Isabel throwing the ball a bunch this year. So I'll be curious to see if they're just going to take a knee or if they're going to try to throw it or the thing is the Panthers with 25 interceptions on the year.
Yeah.
And Rangel with 8. I mean, they could take one back to the house. So they might very well just kneel this.
Yeah, I think the Panthers, would take, and they have to play a safe defense and not necessarily a prevent, but a little more safe.
So that's Craig Hyman with the kick.
And it was a fair catch.
Yeah, it was a fair catch.
Let's see. I didn't, it's got to get above. It's got to get above your shoulders, and
I didn't.
Or you got to make. Yeah, he did. It was a quick wave, but I say that, not. with a lot of confidence, but you do have to make it known to the officials. So now, what do you do? I mean, look for Hail Marys, look for hook and laterals. Those are the type of plays you could see, or the peanut play.
1st and 10, they do hand it off this time. That's to number 22. So, the backfield now for the Tarpons after the injury to number 21, I don't see a lot of speed back there. I think they've got some power backs back there. So that's not going to shape up well for the Tarpons here in the second half.
Right. And I got to comment on that camera work. If you saw them coming in a little closer, and man, what a great view that was. So good job by our students working the cameras.
So 2nd and 4, they run it up the middle again. That's Galini with the tackle. He's going to gain, looks like 3, so it'll bring up a 3rd and short.
So now they're just going to be content running out the clock here. I don't see the Port Isabel, doing anything more. They're letting the clock go.
And that is the end of the first half with your Navarro Panthers up and in firm control now of the football game, 15-7, leading the Port Isabel Tarpons here in San Diego, Texas. Area round playoff football here, 4A Division II. Oh, Hank?
Yeah.
Any thoughts here before we go into our halftime festivities?
Well, what I would say is that the Panthers can't get frustrated, and you see when they get frustrated, they start, pushing a little more than they should. I mean, I like the intensity, but you got to play smart. And so, as long as they stay away from those unsportsmanlike conducts, and stay away from those critical, type of penalties and fumbles and turnovers, that's what we have to be worried about. And I think as long as we stay away from there, you saw that the rest of that particular, the way that half went, that's the way that we should see the Panthers play the rest of the way out.
I think so,
with a few exceptions.
Right.
We had a penalty here and there, but I'll give them
clean up the sloppiness and
right.
And we'll see what happens here in the second half.
So let me give them one more happy dance.
So the Panther band will be up here first. Yeah, it looks like we've got the Dazzlers out. So we're going to take a break here and let you watch the grandest band in the land, the Navarro Panther Band. Enjoy.
Please welcome to the field the award-winning Navarro High School Dallas drill team. The Dazzlers are under the direction of Michelle Conaway. The 17th line is led onto the field by Captain Harley Rowdy and Social President Taylor Brannon. Dazzler of the Week is Brooke Brown. Tonight's performance will be a skirt routine to Land of 1,000 Dances. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the grandest band in the land, the Purple Pride Panther Marching Band. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Get it, get it. The band is under the direction of Patrick Todd, J.C. Alexander, Israel Robledo, and Anthony Gutierrez.
And now, presenting the 2023-24 award-winning Silver Medal Dance Team. This year, at American Dance Drill Team Officer Camp, the officers received Sweepstakes Division 1 and the Jesse Nell Davis Award of Excellence. In addition, the team attended a private camp with choreography with Mark Anthony. Leading the Silver Bells are Captain Samantha Rico, Co-Captain Hazel Hill, and Lieutenant Daniela Hernandez. Dancer of the Week is Daniela Hernandez. The Silver Bell will be performing a bomb routine.
All right, we're here back here at halftime. We've got Scott Kibbe up here for the first half stats. Scott, what do you got for us?
All right, for the Navarro, 7 first downs, 18 rushes for 92 yards. I have 155 passing yards.
What? Wait.
Right.
Wait, say that again.
So yeah, what was that?
Navarro. Yeah, 155.
Okay.
So they're on 5 out of 8, 0 interceptions. One punt for 41 yards, 2 fumbles, lost 1, 8 penalties, 85 yards.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Meebane, 7 carries, 51 yards, leads the way. He is 5 away now from 3,000, so hopefully next carry gets that. And then Barry, 2 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Galini, 1 for 49. For Port Isabel, 5 first downs, 23 rushes for 63 yards, 0 passing yards on 0. That's not right. They had 1 completion. I didn't get on there. I'll fix that. But it's about 5 yards passing. Is all they had.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
1 out of 2. That number wrong. 3 punts for.
It happens. Rarely,
Like-
very rarely, but it does happen.
It's like you see it. Like, no,
Yeah,
that's
that didn't really happen, did it?
0 fumbles. 3 penalties for 15 yards. Garcia leading the way with 8 carries and 25 yards.
Wow. So, the 60, did you say 63 yards for the 63 yards for rushing
on 23.
for
Yeah.
Port Isabel? Now, that's a feat in of itself, I think, because, a slot T team should be, but with the Panthers, at 92 yards, we're used to seeing more yards on that as well. But, I mean, the penalties and that Lance has talked about, keeps bothering us with 85 yards of that penalty yards. So, you take that 85 and add it to 63. I mean, yeah, they're real close in yardage when you add that up for
Right.
Port Isabel, because they wouldn't have got that 1 first down had it not been for an unsportsmanlike conduct. The Panthers had stopped them at the line of scrimmage every single play until that happened, so.
It, of course, the penalty killed the first Panthers drive.
Right.
That sportsmanlike, which I can't figure out where that was called. And then, of course, the chop block later, which they overcame that. But, just making it kind of hard on themselves again. But I have to say this. We've seen some bad officiating this year.
Yeah,
This is the worst
this year,
It's the
yeah.
worst crew scene.
Yeah.
They've just been. They spotted one ball. The guy goes down to 35, and they put it at the 37. He never saw the 37.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get it. They'll get their act together
What-
at halftime and be a little better in second half.
And Lance and I talked about it, is that they spend a lot of time in conference.
Yeah.
That more than we've seen almost any crew this year. I mean, the Lavernia crew that we saw, that was pretty close too. Yeah,
that was
but
34 penalties in one night. That was not good either. But
Right.
There's just a little confusion, and this is playoffs. It should be a playoff crew, so
right.
kind of surprising.
Well, my thing that jumps off obviously is the obvious, right? The 155 for passing, 5 of 8, and Port Isabel, I think, been caught off guard. It's not like our receivers have been wide open.
Right.
And, it's not like we've shown a bunch of passing the past 3 games. So,
Yeah, I mean, Schulke's had a good night, but honestly, he missed a couple.
He did.
He threw a couple. He doesn't throw a lot of bad passes. A couple he threw tonight were probably the worst I've seen him throw. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's somebody open, and
Yeah.
that's what we talked about. If they could spread them out and pass a little bit, that's opened up the running game, which really struggled early on.
Right, right. And you saw the misses with the. I mean, and I hate to go back to the negative part, but it was. I looked at it as a positive. It just he missed some of those passes with Nick Swartzels. Down the seam. He just throws it low, and Swartzels he has to go down to it. And that was a 4th down play. If he hits them up high, I think that's a first down. Yeah, and so the overthrow to one of the other receiver, and I can't remember the receiver right offhand, but
it's Nick again.
yeah, Nick Swartzels
here on a flat route. Yeah,
and it's like we know easily he would have got the first down. But I mean, I was encouraged because they were open. I mean, the plays are there. So
they are.
Now, if the Panthers can capitalize, I think they're going to have to do a little bit more of mixing it up and not just get stuck trying to run the ball because those penalties seems to really eat them up when they're running the ball more than when they're passing the ball. We did see some of the penalties on the passes, but I still think if we can get those big chunks here and there, I think it just like Scott said earlier, it opens up that running game.
Well, if they tend to get conservative in the second half, if they're tempted to get conservative and just go to the run, they need to remember they fumble a lot more than they throw interceptions. Schulke has not thrown one interception this season.
That's right.
And
yeah.
And the Panthers have only thrown one. David threw one earlier.
Yep. So he knows how to protect the ball. Good game manager. Good composure. Put the ball in his hands and they put this thing away earlier. So.
Yeah. Well, it's concerning if you're a Tarpon fan. I don't see a lot of speed in the backfield. And at this point, I know they got a youngster hurt there, and he was one of their speedy backs. If they plan on running it up the middle to catch up and beat us, we would have to beat ourselves, through penalties and turnovers because they're not going to win the football game running it right up the gut at us.
Yeah, I mean, and we made some. You could tell during the game we made some adjustments. Where that one drive, but that was after a turnover too, because the drive that the Port Isabel Tarpons went down and scored on was from that adrenaline they got, the emotional high, and they took advantage of that momentum and went right in there. But after that, we didn't see it again because I feel like the Panthers coaches made some adjustments to have Arias come in and really do the run blitzes there. So
and he's been all over the place.
Yes, they had that touchdown drive for Port Isabel was scary. Because I thought, man, they're pushing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just this battle between slot teams. You can't be less physical. You just can't. But they have 63 total yards in the half. I believe 57 of them were on that series.
Right. No, that's right.
They've really got control of it since.
Yeah. So, all right. Any closing thoughts here for the second half, Scott?
Yeah. What are your predictions? What do you think you see from Port Isabel and then the Panthers?
I think Port Isabel, there's just not a lot of choices what they're going to be able to do right now. They had some success with the sweeps, but as you said, they've kind of lost their speed in the backfield. But they're going to have to find something. And seasoned old coach they have, Coach Villarreal, he'll pick something up. But I think the Panthers, you've got the game under control right now. Stop making the mistakes. Stop beating yourselves. And you can be in very good shape right now.
Right. I agree. All right. Well, thank you, Scott. I know you've got to go back to the other side of the stadium, but appreciate it.
Well, you bet. Glad to.
We will.
Yeah. Have a safe one.
All right.
Have a safe one.
All right.
All right. Well, we will continue here with halftime. Hank, I'm gonna peek in on some scores here.
Yeah. Let's talk about that because I wanted to go over some, with you as well.
So let me pull that up and see what we've got. We've got a bunch of interesting scores here. Of course, it's 15-7 here. Navarro Panthers are up on the Port Isabel Silver Tarpons here. It's halftime. About 10 minutes left here at half. At halftime, up in shirts. Orange Grove 0. The Wimberley Texans 49. So nothing shocking about that football game there. Wimberley rolling as usual. Laga Vista. This is the one we really want to keep an eye on because if we to continue to take care of business here tonight, we will face the winner of Laga Vista and Sinton. And Laga Vista is up right now in the third quarter with 9:50 to go. It's 21-10. The Pirates jumped out early to a quick 10-0 lead, and then Laga Vista has rolled now with looks like 21 unanswered. There at some scores from Region 3. We talked about Region 3 quite a bit here. Not a lot of really close football games, though, here in the second round in Region 3, 4A Division 2. Belleville Brahmas continue their roll.
Uh-oh.
They are up 37-0 late in the second quarter over Madisonville, so they continue to roll. Halftime there, Cuero Gobblers 34, Hampshire Finette Longhorns 21. So that game's somewhat close, but boy, Cuero scoring 34 in the first half. Their offense is cooking with gas right now. And then you've got the Jasper Bulldogs up 16-0 over Waco Conley. So the winner of that Cuero Hampshire Finette game will play the winner of the Jasper Waco Conley, and Jasper's rolling. There's something to be reckoned with. And then of course Silsbee up 28-10 over Gatesville. Looks like they're in the third quarter or about to start the third quarter there. So some other scores. It looks like Ingleside Bandera. Ingleside up 28-26 at half. So as expected, that's a tight ball game, Hank.
Yeah.
And then Bernie and Lavernia are playing, and Bernie, this is like a great football game. Bernie up 24-21. So and that's in the third quarter there. So a lot of really interesting football games here this evening. I was trying to. You got the Carthage Bulldogs? You got a score with them? Or, yeah. Carthage up 49-0 over the Van Alstyne Panthers. And
wow.
They look like they're rolling into a just amazing football game next week. They're going to play Texarkana Pleasant Grove, who won last night 63-10. So
wow.
Carthage looks like they're going to roll, and that'll be a football game to watch.
Yeah, Carthage has been just phenomenal over all these last years, and
yeah.
I mean, along with now
Pleasant
China
Grove
Spring, China Spring moved up to Division 1.
Pleasant Grove had a nice run. Gilmer's been pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, we used to see West Orange Stark there quite often, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit.
Right.
But I mean, man. I think Carthage is always the team to beat out of Region 2.
9 state championships.
Yeah. They're always going to be a favorite.
Yeah.
So, wow.
They've got some ball players up there,
so,
and a heck of a coach.
So some people tell me they weren't quite hearing the sound effects and all very well, so I'm going to replay one of them for one of my friends out there. They wanted to hear this. So. Well, the happy dance.
There you go.
The hamster happy dance.
Right now, the Panthers are doing the happy dance in the locker room. So.
You know how that is for real, right? Well, we are out here while they're in the locker room, but I don't think that's happening.
You know what I'm saying.
You're right.
But
they are confident that they can go in and build on what they've done here. So that's what I think we see is what Scott Keeby says. Hey, keep mixing it up. Don't just rely just on the running game. And this is why this is a different Panther team than we've seen in the past. Now, Port Isabel has given up a great fight. Now, Port Isabel, you've got to give them a lot of credit tonight, as I didn't expect to see it as close this far, this close at this point.
Right.
And Port Isabel has really come out to play. And so we'll see. I mean, they may do what they did early on, and really make the Panthers have to really bear down and win this thing by execution. And they did that. They made us punt, 3 times in that first half.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we came out. The first 3 drives was downs, we fumbled and then a punt. So, but we've cleaned it up. I expect the Panthers to make the adjustments accordingly and really roll here in the second half. Unless Port Isabel starts throwing the football, I think they're going to have a real hard time moving the football. So they're going to have to shake it open. And again, these teams know each other's offense.
Right.
So I think it was smart by the Panthers, and clearly because to throw the football because Blunt probably said, hey, they know what's coming, right? And let's throw the football, and it worked.
Yeah,
the players were, our guys were running wide open down all over the field. I mean, with all the receivers, it's not like they had two were covered and one wasn't.
Right.
Most of them were running free, and Schulke basically had his choice. So.
Yeah, and Schulke did a good job of, I think, really reading, I got. He had 3 levels basically to throw to, and I thought he did a good job of scaling the field and looking what he had available to him. And
I agree.
But there was one that we all questioned.
That one,
but,
the long one, down the sideline to Barry, but because he probably could have ran
and made the first down. But that's the advantage we have up here. Being much higher, and we can sit back and play armchair quarterback. Oh, we should have done this. We should have done that. But for the most part, he's had a really good game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and Scott said it best. Schulke is a great game manager. He manages the game. He has not thrown an interception this year. I don't know when the last Navarro quarterback could say that, right? We're in our 12th game of the season.
Right.
And we've thrown the ball a decent amount. So, so this year, I think we've got 40 completions on the year or so. But now he had 5 more tonight or so.
Yeah,
so
now we're on the verge of 1,000 yards in passing this year.
Yeah, some of that was against him.
Yeah, but even before that, I would say when we were around 500 yards passing, even before some of those temes.
I agree. I mean, it's
more than any other Blunt team we've seen.
Right.
Throw the ball.
That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. They've thrown the ball more this year than we can really remember. Billings threw the ball a decent amount a couple of years ago. But you're right. This year, I think I'd have to go back and look at it. Of course, Scott, we maybe should pull some stats for us, looking back to the 2021 season, and seeing what we did there. So as we get ready for the second half, you want to throw the QR code up there and see if we can get some donations.
Yeah, we had it up there during the half for a little while, and
I know we've had a bunch of. People watching even on the Port Isabel side, so thank you for the shout out. You're more than welcome to donate since you didn't drive up and gas and pay admission $8 to get in. And
pay what you'd pay admission. We'd be happy for it.
But
it doesn't go to us. We're just volunteers. The kiddos are the ones that make it happen while they're here. I mean, we have the advantage of having 5 students or 4 students here that have helped us out tonight and made this happen. I think the camera work has just been awesome tonight. Yeah.
Stellar. From what we've seen, and we see it on the replays as well. But the passing has been spot on. So great job.
Yeah.
Shout out to the students, and thank you so much for you that do and have donated in the past and are donating again tonight. And enjoy. We started this last year with the intent of improving, and we feel like that the product has consistently gotten better. Thanks to you, Hank, and the students. So
I think it's always a team effort. It's never just one, and so we all made it together. You've become the real stat man and getting all the inside information prior, the pregame stuff, and so we appreciate that, Lance. And so it makes the game a little more exciting when you know what you're gonna. What you're up against, what kind of team are you playing, and you brought that out very well tonight to say, hey, they got some good big backs that can really pound you. They may not run away from you as easy as we've seen some other teams and such, but boy, they could come right at you and move the ball.
So here we go. Here's your Panthers as they come out here for the second half. We're here in San Diego, Texas. It's a right.
So we'll
66 degrees outside. The wind's out of the south-southeast at 4 miles an hour. Perfect for a football game.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, there's the old clickers out there. We made some adjustments on the sound, so hopefully you get that as well. And so we'll be ready to get this thing started.
So I want to thank a couple people real quick that have donated tonight. We want to thank.
Oh, wow.
We want to thank Russell Walker, Mike Zimmer, and Emmanuel Garcia. All thank you so much for your donations tonight. Much appreciated. Hope you guys are enjoying the sideline camera as well. So we're here for the second half, ready to go. Panthers will be kicking it off to the Port Isabel Tarpons. So important here for the Panthers to hold serve, right? With a 8-point lead here.
Yeah, and this is always the most critical point of any game is to have the third quarter first drive for both teams. So if you're behind and you get the ball in the third quarter, first possession, you got to take it down the field. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. The kick was up, a high kick, and it caught about the 28, and he returns it back up to the 32. So a short return. Good play there by the Panthers, not only to keep the ball in bounds, but also get a quick tackle there.
Right.
And short, make it a long field here for the Tarpons. So they'll take over on their own 32. As there's motion, he hands it to it's a jet sweep to number 5. And he draws up. He gets the corner, and he does get around, and it's going to be close to a first down there for the Tarpons.
Yeah, good play starting out the first drive for the Tarpons as they do something that you see the Panthers use with Mabane quite often is that jet sweep, off the motion. And so you
Robert Medina.
Yeah, Robert Medina shows us some speed there to get to the corner. Switzel's couldn't get out there to make the tackle, so you got to have better containment. And it's going to be first down for the Tarpons.
So Tarpons get 10 on that, so they do get awarded the first down. They hand it up the middle this time, and boy, they're getting some chunk yardage here.
Yeah, they come out with some fire in this third quarter.
Which is what they needed. That was Garcia, the big back there, Tristan Garcia, senior. Tristan's he's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he runs hard. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 4 here from the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Panthers are going to have to do a better job of taking care of that line of scrimmage. Right now, Port Isabel is winning the line of scrimmage battle.
Martinez, he hands it up the middle. That's Garcia. He's got a bunch of room. If he just splits a couple of Panthers, though, he was going to get a big chunk yardage.
Yeah, I believe that ended up being Ramos. He came back into the game. He went out injured, and now he's back in, making that a big play for the Tarpons.
So again, another first down for the Tarpons. Tarpons playing hard. They run that jet sweep again to the near side. He's got the corner, and Rangel comes back and tackles him about the 30-yard line. But he gains another chunk, 7-8 yards there.
Yeah, I think they're going to call 9 yards on that play, and the blocking ahead. And look at number 21. We just said is now Ramos making the big blocks on that play, and Rangel spinning off of a block to make the tackle. So now Port Isabel on a nice drive here in the third quarter to try to tie this thing back up.
Well, and credit here to the Tarpons for coming out and playing hard here in the second half, knowing that their season's on the line. So.
That's right.
2nd and 1 here. Martinez under center. He's going to hand it this time. That's number 8. He's hit by Arias. And for a short gain, he does fall forward. Gains about, I'm not sure if he got the yardage.
Well, I'm giving a big yeehaw to Arias because he comes in there and makes the initial contact. May not have brought him down, but did enough to trip him up. So that knee went down. And I don't know, looking at the replay, the knee was down before he made it to that spot where the officials spotted the ball.
And Kibbe, he mentioned it as well. The spots tonight have been a little shaky from the stripes. So it's 1st down. Martinez under center. He hands it. That's number 22, and that's Harvey.
Harvey spun right into the running back. He spun off of the block, too, and you'll see it here on the replay. He takes and spins off of his block, comes around, and makes a good tackle. He reads the play well. Actually, I thought he spun, but he didn't. He actually pushed down the line and was able to make the tackle, so that's an awesome play by Harvey.
So 2nd and 9, only a 1-yard gain there for the Tarpons. 9 minutes here left in the 3rd quarter. Panthers up 15-7.
Yeah, the game clock is getting down to 15 seconds here, so
Martinez under center. They needed an extra player there. They were trying to play with 10. Run one on. Martinez, he's going to throw it. He throws it. He's got a receiver down the middle of the field, but that was Davidson in Rangel.
Yeah,
closed quickly. He waited, I think, a little bit too long. Right. He was open early.
Watch this play. Rangel he really reads the ball well and gets over and enough to get a piece of the ball. Otherwise, that could have been an easy touchdown.
Right. And honestly, if Austin Davidson wasn't there, he might
have got the catch.
He might have got it. But
interception.
Yeah, and that wasn't Davidson's fault. Davidson was playing the ball as well. So.
Yeah, right. You got to be there. Rather, 2 guys go for the ball, or none.
That's right. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Port Isabel having the ball.
So that's the Bear, and the Bear gets him, and just hugs him. I'm sorry, that was I take that back. That was 52.
Here's the replay. Yeah, big play there.
That was Cade Pugh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
good
big
play
yeehaw.
There.
4th down, so Port Isabel's at a point where they're going to have to go for it, being at the 26 to 25-yard line. So 4th and 9 coming up here for Port Isabel, and they've been doing a nice job at getting with that jet sweep to the outside, so I would bet we'll see that play again.
Yeah, big play here for the Tarpon offense. This could be their season right here.
Yeah, you see number 5 lined up, Medina. Was lined up to that outside of that tailback, and now timeout.
Timeout, and I think that's Port Isabel.
Yeah, Port Isabel takes that timeout, so it's their first timeout of the half.
So if you want to pop up that QR code, we'll pop that up, and you can donate here if you so choose. So, and I don't blame the Tarpons for calling a timeout.
Right.
There. That was good, wisely used. They got to get this.
Yeah, this is a 4th down critical. If they don't get it, the Panthers get the ball and they drive down and score. That two-score lead, or taking it to a 3-score lead.
Yeah,
it's gonna, depending on if Panthers go for 2 or not.
Right, and if they go for 2 and take that 16-point lead, you're right.
Yeah,
that's 3 scores. That's going to be tough. I take that back. They could go for 2 twice, so it would be 2 scores.
But still,
that's a pretty
tall
task.
Yeah, my math was a little off there, but I was thinking we had 16. That's why I was thinking we had that 2-point, but we had to end up going for the long extra point, a 24-yard extra point or 25-yard extra point after a penalty. So now here's a big one for the Panthers and the Port Isabel Tarpons. Big play, 4th down coming up here.
So here we go, 4th and 9. Martinez under center. He's going to hand it. No,
it's a double reverse.
He fakes it. Number 5's got it. Let's see where he's pulled now.
He got it by a yard.
Yeah.
We'll see where the actual spot ends up being. It's either, let's see where he goes down at. He goes down right at the between the 22 and 21-yard line.
It's actually the 17 and the 16.
Oh, it's 17 and 16. Sorry.
Yeah, But
So
sure enough,
yeah.
first down, Panthers fooled. They handed it off to number 22.
Yeah, so they spotted it at the 16. We saw it more closer to the in between the 17 and 16, a little farther. But hey, you know what? It was a well-run play and well-executed play by Port Isabel.
So Martinez under center, 1st and 10. He hands off 24. That's Garcia up the middle. He's got some room, some nice running room there against the Panther D.
Well, the Tarpons started at their own 32-yard line.
And they've chewed up a bunch of I mean, half the quarter's gone.
Right. Now, if the Panthers can get a turnover here, all that time is for naught because the Panthers have the lead, and then they would have the ball. So this is...
Yeah, this is they've got to score, especially on this long drive.
That's correct.
They don't score quickly, or they haven't tonight at least.
That could deflate the Tarpons rather quickly if they don't.
So 2nd and 6, Martinez. Oh, and
Flags.
flags.
False start against the Tarpons.
And that's you know, it's 2nd and 6.
Let's see who moves here.
Oh, it was the tackle, the right tackle down there, just flinched.
Yeah, just enough, and we've seen that, and we've seen calls against the Panthers where they're just rocking into. They're rocking into their stance and they're calling a false start, so getting settled in, and that one was a little different. Like you said, it was a flinch.
So here we go. 2nd and 11. Martinez hands it up the middle. And he's going to get 4 or 5, it looks like.
A lot of yardage for a simple play. A good hard run right up the gut. The Panthers were almost there. Richardson, along with, I believe, Hyman, as they attempted to get to the running back, but both missed, and the running back slipped by.
So 3rd and 7, ball on the 13-yard line.
Well, they've got 2 plays to make a first down here.
So let's see what they do, Hank. He pitches it out. Number 9, he's got a bunch of room, bunch of blue carpet in front of him, but it looks like he was almost running in slow motion.
Yeah, and this time, you know, if we look at the replay, he should have cut it back up right here. It looks like at first it looked like he started to look for a pass, but if he cuts it up as soon as he catches it and goes north and south.
He pitched it so deep also because, man, he had a bunch of room, and I thought he probably could have got the first down.
And then some. That's what I was nervous about. So big 4th down play. So we're going to call the troops out.
So 4th and 3, and that is a prime example, you youngsters watching at home. Angles,
yeah, they make a difference.
They make a huge difference.
Now it looks like Port Isabel's going to take
another timeout.
Yeah.
Wow. So another 4th down timeout here by the Tarpons. And 4th and 3 this time. It looks like it's, by the marker on the other side of the field, it looks a little further than that. But we'll go with it. 4th and 3.
Yeah, look, 1, 2. Yeah, it's like 4th, 3.5.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But 5:33 left here. Panthers up here in the area round, 2nd round here in San Diego, Texas. No, we are not in San Diego, California.
Right, at Vaquero Stadium here.
And South Texas here, near Alice.
Right, well, this reminds me a lot of a McNeese State University. Even the logo is so similar, as the McNeese State Cowboys are blue and gold as well. So it's my son went there, so it's bringing back some memories there.
So here we go. Big 4th and 3.
Oh, man.
This could be the ball game.
Yeah, this could be it. This is the biggest play of the game right now.
So Martinez under center. Motion. He hands it up the middle. He's met, but he fights it off, and that's Garcia. That was all Garcia because he bounced off, it looks like, number 9, Guerra. And Guerra was right there. And but hey, give Garcia credit.
Yep.
I mean, he's a tough, hard runner. We talked about him all night. He's a senior, so give him the props. They go in. It's 15-13, 5:28 left here. Let's see what they do. You go for 2, Hank?
Yeah, I think the first time you can, because then you know what you need to do the second. It's like
True.
if you miss it here, you know you're going to have to go for 2 on the next one. I mean, that's just my opinion.
And it does look like they are lined up to go for 2 to tie this football game up here in the area round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in that ice slot.
Martinez under center. He hands it. Again, that's Garcia. He's met, though. The Panthers.
Oh, wow.
And that's Mac Berry. And Mac Berry says, no way. Get out of here.
Yes.
Big play there.
Well, you see the battle of the slot tees, and it's come to fruition. Well, what, it is a huge game and a great game this has turned out to be. Both teams battling it out, and, here we have a 2-point game. So even a field goal could make the difference in this game.
So the Tarpons take it 68 yards. The Panthers hadn't even had the ball in the second half.
That's
and there's
right.
5:28 left. So they take more than half the quarter and then some, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Tarpons.
Right.
But they're still behind, so huge play there by Mac Berry.
Right.
So let's see where the Panthers come up with the football. The other thing is 2 timeouts are gone for the Tarpons, and they're still down by 2. So
Right.
They're going to need their defense to step up or get a turnover.
That's right.
Or an onside kick. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so this is what you have to be prepared for. If they do have an onside kick, then the Panthers need to be ready.
So they don't onside it. They kick it deep, and I think Rangel's just going to let that smartly go out of bounds and get the penalty.
Yeah, I think they're going to at the 30-yard line. So the Panthers are going to get good field position to start their first possession of this quarter with 5:28 remaining. After most of it's more than half has been run off by Port Isabel on that touchdown. So now you know what you have to do. If the Panthers score here, if the Panthers get a 2-point conversion there, then it's still a 2-score game. Am I right? Let me do my math here because it's more than 2 points already.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Tarpons needed. They needed to go down and score, but
yeah. Do you kick the field? You were saying kick the field, but at least I'd say, my feeling was where you stand at that point if you don't make the 2-point.
No, I was fine with them going for 2, but
I didn't know either way.
I would have called probably a different play.
Yeah. I would have got something to the outside because the Panthers were all bunched up in the middle on that one.
Or do some action. Fake it to Garcia and then come back around and dump it off into the end zone somewhere. But we're out here.
Yeah, we're playing armchair quarterback, as we used to say.
So penalty has been called on the Tarpons, which was a 5-yard procedure penalty.
Right, and that goes to the instead of the 25, it goes to the 30-yard line for the Panthers to see what the Panthers come up with here.
Panthers have the ball at their own 30. Schulke under center. He hands it this time. That's Mabane. Mabane's got to move. He's trying to get to the outside. He's bottled up, though. Just one player short. If he gets the edge.
I thought if Brighton Camp would have stayed with the running back, or the outside guy, and went after him, Mabane would have cut it up and got maybe another 2 or 3 yards. But again, we're up here watching the replay. Much easier to see it. But still, the Panthers get almost, I think, close to 5 yards if they spotted it at the 35.
Yeah, 2nd and 5 from the 35.
Man, I haven't missed the yardage so much as bad as I have tonight because the blue field has really, again, thrown me off.
So he hands it this time. This Choppa coming to the near side. They bottle him up, though. He's not going to get the first down. Looks like he's going to possibly gain a couple.
Yeah, and he goes forward, so now this makes a 3rd down and manageable.
Very manageable.
Yeah, as long as you get forward progress, I think even if it's 4th and 1, at this point, I think you might see Blunt go for it. But if it's more than 4th and 1, I don't know. Do you go for it on 4th and 2? So the Panthers just need to make the first down here, and we go from there.
So it's 3rd and 2. Panthers have got it on their own 48. Big play here. He hands it up the middle. He's got the first down and some more. and he's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and that's Blunt, Cohen Blunt going down the sideline, and he's finally knocked out of bounds inside the Tarpon 20, and there's a late flag.
Oh, was it? Let's see who it's going to be against, but this came out late, I think, after the play. So
I
we're
see
gonna,
actually 2 flags.
Yeah, I do. Don't know what's going to be called. Even if it's a block in the back, it can be at the spot foul, so it's still going to be a first down. Where the flags are thrown is where they're at. So
nice job there by Cohen Blunt, though. I mean, he's dragging guys, and I mean, he showed some speed there too. You know,
block in the back goes against the Panthers. So, but it's still a spot foul. It doesn't come all the way back, so the Panthers still get the first down and good. So here we are. Let's see where the ball is going to actually be spotted. Again, it's a first down and 10 for the Panthers as they're going to have the ball at the 41-yard line of the Tarpons. And big hard run by Cohen Blunt. We saw it's what they call some type of tackle trap that is able to free him. And good job by the front line, offensive line. But McBain was the decoy on that play, that's for sure.
So Blunt, as I was watching that, Blunt was not happy with that call.
Oh, boy.
Swartzlosey, he fakes it. Oh, I'm sorry. Schulke, he's got a receiver down. He hits him. That's Mac Berry again.
Oh, yes.
And another Panther touchdown. Wow.
Right, here's the replay. He looks down the field. He finds Berry. Good job on the camera work. Awesome job. Breaks the tackle. Yes. Panthers again tonight. Oh, wait, we have another flag? This is, like I said, this is very reminiscent of what we had seen, and so it's going to come all the way back. Let's see. Ineligible player down the field, ineligible man down the field.
And you know, Schulke did take a long time to roll out. I'd have to go back tomorrow or something and watch the replay on that one. But, you know, tough break there for the Panthers. But, you know, the good news is the Tarpons, they don't know how to cover number 5 tonight. So
Right. And I you know what I would do? I'd come right back to a play that's very similar. It doesn't have to be exact. I'd run a very similar play. And here the Panthers come.
So Chapa split out with Stoniger to the near side. He does hand it to McBain up the middle. And he's bottled up quickly by the Tarpon defense.
Yeah, and this is one that you definitely – this is what I said. That was why I said they were going to be ready for McBain play because of the yardage so long. They knew, and they were only focusing on McBain on that play. And so if we had anybody else, if you just fake it to McBain, just like we've seen earlier on those pass plays, that's all you needed.
So 2nd and 15. Schulke's going to throw it. He does. He finds a receiver, and guess who? Mr. Berry.
Yes.
The tight end. And if I'm the Tarpons, I mean, he's wide open right there.
Yeah, and he's a hard man to bring down, as you can see.
Yeah.
Big play there, and I thought he was going to throw it to Galini, and Galini, Braddock Galini got behind the defense, but you could tell the defensive back was baiting him to bring him to throw the ball because he was standing back to make a break on the ball. So I'm glad Schulke made the right decision there.
So 3rd and 7 from the 38-yard line. 2 minutes. It looks like he fumbles the snap. He hands it off, though, to Cohen Blunt. Cohen Blunt fumbles and stumbles up for a couple, but it's going to be 4th down, folks.
So now the Panthers have a big 4th down and 4 play coming up here. So here we go. The crowd is loud.
4th and 5. Big play. Minute 44 left here in the 3rd. Panthers up 15-13. Schulke under center. And it looks like somebody moved. There's the flag.
Oh, the Panthers were trying to draw him off sides. They ended up, Schulke ends up losing his balance and leaning forward. And didn't have the, so they're waving the flag.
Oh, they're waving the flag, so.
So did the Panthers take a?
No, timeout, Port Isabel. They take their final timeout of the football game.
Wow.
Here in the third quarter.
And you wonder if they took that timeout thinking they were going to get the ball. And they, and now the Panthers have the fourth down. And, yeah, that's their last timeout. So that may be a big play either way. Now, the quarterback can lean forward as long as it's not as a simulation of snap, but
right.
That was close. I would have said if they would have thrown the flag against the Panthers, that so be it. It could have gone either way.
What do you do here, Hank? You throw the football to number 5 again?
I think you fake the ball to McBain, make everybody bite on McBain,
right.
And then you throw the ball. It's got to be a play action. It can't be just straight up shotgun, let's throw the ball down the field. It's got to be a fake to McBain in order to have the defense bite, because you could tell their whole week emphasis was on stop number 1.
That's right. That's right. And it should be.
Right, exactly.
The guy's got 14 touchdowns and
1,300 yards, over 1,300 yards, yes.
Over, 3,000 for his career. So he is going to throw it. Schulke's running. No, Schulke's just going to keep it. He's going to cut back. He's going to have a first down.
He's got to the 30.
And great job there. And again, going, find it, and Schulke's had that all night. He could run or he could let it fly.
Well, that one McBain did come open on the left side after he faked it to him. Everybody then went with Schulke after that. But you see the fake to McBain, really held that defense just a couple of steps. That's all he needed.
That's right.
And hey, I felt better about myself. I called that one to a certain degree.
So 1st and 10. He hands it to McBain to the left side here. McBain gets inside the 25.
A shoe comes flying out.
And so he's going to get a sizable gain there for the Panthers.
Yeah, and a hard run, too. I mean, he took a lot of hits in that one. So I saw a shoe come flying out. But look at the hard running that the Panthers, McBain, and the linemen grab it on and they're not giving up. They're still saying, come on, we're going to take this. So big plays. Every single play from here on out for the Panthers is going to be big.
So they give them 4 on that. It's 2nd and 6, 35 seconds and counting here in the third. Panthers up here in the area around 15-13 here late in the third quarter. Driving the football. They hand it this time. Looks like straight up the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that's Guerra.
Yeah.
A host of Tarpons there, but he gains a couple. Going to bring up a third down.
Yeah, real quick up the gut. And I believe that was that time was Cohen Blunt. That 8 and 9 looks really similar, but looking at it on a replay, Cohen Blunt was in on that play, and so he takes it down enough to where this is a manageable third down. But we know the way the Panthers run this thing is they're gonna go not only on third down but on fourth down. So timeout's been called.
Well, no, that's
or the quarter is about to be over. I'm sorry.
No.
Either they're gonna have to call a timeout or that's the quarter. So the Panthers have a great opportunity to take the lead and move it down the field. And wow. So as we talked about earlier, the Running Lady Panthers went 3-1 in the tournament at Floresville, the classic for Floresville, and a basketball tournament. So they'll play tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning against San Antonio Taft for third place. 18 teams in that tournament of 5As and above, 5As and 6As, and the Panthers are right there. The Running Lady Panthers are right there playing for third place. So that's a big deal if you ask me. So
yeah.
Early in the season, this early, that's great.
Yeah, great stuff there for the Lady Panthers. You're listening to the Navarro Panther Network. My name's Lance Blackburn. I'm joined by Hank Dietrich. We're going here to the fourth quarter. Panthers up. Our Panthers are up 15-13 here in the fourth quarter and driving.
Yeah, and you talk about we've had explosive plays and we've had good hard runs. We've had a lot of different things going on in this game and big pass plays. We've seen it all tonight, folks. It's been very exciting for both sides, I can imagine. All right.
So here we go. 3rd and 3 from the 21. Panthers out of the huddle. Schulke under center. And another flag.
This time, let's see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see real quick. Oh, we missed our little window for the replay. So here's the white hat. Let's see. Did they not? So they're resetting the clock because they're saying that it wasn't ready for play when that happens. So reset of the clock and no flag on the play. So 3rd down, thank goodness either way. You get nervous. So 3rd down and, man, it's a close 3 or 4.
Hands it off to Schwartzlozy up the middle. He's gonna get in there. Oh no, he's pulled down right there. Inside the 5-yard line. Huge play there for our Panthers. And
there he is, Nick Schwartzlozy.
Yeah, just a train up the middle.
Yeah, big play and taking time off the clock. The Panthers can score here and get a 2-point conversion. They can make this game, a little bit harder for Port Isabel and take more of what we would consider at this point in the game more of a commanding lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not an insurmountable lead, just a challenge.
Schulke handing it off. That's Mabane. He fights. He spins. He's in the end
Oh,
zone.
wow.
Touchdown. And Mabane, I know he's over 3,000 yards. I'm not sure exactly when he got it, but he needed 5 coming into the half, and I know he's got more than that. That's a nice touchdown. The Panthers go up 21-13, and let's see what happens. Are we going to kick it?
Yeah, let's see if
Snead runs out, and
so now that takes the score. We don't have it up yet, but it is 21-13 right now until we pending this kick.
So the Panthers would elect to kick it and go for the 1 point on the conversion here. The kick is up, and it hits the middle crossbar. And again, Snead struggling here.
If he makes that, it's a 9-point lead now.
Right.
Yeah, we're looking at an 8-point lead. I mean, it's just more, it's just fitting, right? This has been that kind of game.
Yeah.
The Panthers have played well, but they haven't played great. But I am still impressed with the Panthers passing game tonight from what we've seen. And even though Mabane hasn't been able to get on track, we know exactly why, because that has been the focus tonight of Port Isabel, is to stop the 1,300-yard runner for the Navarro Panthers. And they've done a great job of doing that tonight until that last touchdown.
Well, both teams, and we're basically had the ball one time in the 3rd quarter.
Right.
And they both scored touchdowns.
All right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they both missed the point after.
That's right.
No matter if it was a 2-point conversion attempt or, the field goal attempt, both of them missed it. So our score difference still remains the same.
So the kick is up. Sky kick. Oh, he drops it, and he's swarmed by the Panthers there inside his own 30.
Well, the Panthers come in, and they just swarm Edward Garza on the play. So as you can see here in the replay, he goes down, he picks it back up, and right there, it looked like Guetta was first in on the tackle.
So the ball is going to be marked right at the 30-yard line here for the Tarpons.
So really, maybe a 1-yard return on that play by the Tarpons. So Panthers stop him in a good position. No return. No big return. So here are the Tarpons.
The Tarpons hand it. It's up the middle. He's got a bunch of room. That's number 20. Is that 21?
I think that's
Is that Ramos?
or
No,
Garcia.
24. That's Garcia. Sorry.
Tristan
Tough to
Garcia.
see, yeah.
Yeah, they run that little inside trap, and
Tricked the Panthers there.
Yeah.
Big play there. Almost 20 yards. Looks like they're gonna give him 19 on the run. And that's 1st and 10 here. Tarpons from their own 49-yard line. So it's a one-score football game. So let's go Panther defense. They hand it this time. Jet sweep.
Oh, wow.
Boy, he is swarmed and read completely. That was Galini, the opposite side defensive end. Watch him here.
Yeah,
at the
watch
top
him on
side
the
of your
replay.
screen.
He
And-
reads the
and
play,
he just
goes
sees it,
outside,
and
nobody.
Absolutely, just
Well, and to see if he was down or not, that's interesting because it looked like his helmet and shoulder hit the ground.
yeah.
And
Well, good for the Panthers, though,
right,
'cause
he still fell down
yeah,
back
he
and
lost
going
4
backwards.
more yards. Yeah. So
See, they spotted it though at the 36-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and a bus ride right now.
yeah, a bus ride to Brownsville.
Yeah. Inside
And-
handoff.
And that's Garcia, and he's going to get a couple yards. But that's not going to do it.
Yeah, but
I
I'll
mean-
tell you what, he's a hard runner and a hard
He is.
player to bring down. You can't bring him down on that first hit. We even seen get a back, bounce off of him, but that's a good hard run.
So it's 3rd and 20. They've got the ball there. They were set up perfectly. They had a nice 19-yard run, and then that jet sweep was read. They went to the well a little bit too many times there.
Right.
And that Panther defense capitalizes, and this is a big play. He's going to throw it. He's back. He
It's a
wants to
screen.
throw a screen, and it's almost intercepted by Matt Richardson. And
see
Matt's
that
mad at
one.
himself.
Oh man.
I talked to Matt the other day about his fumble in a couple games ago when they put him in at fullback, and he tips it.
Yeah.
Thank
goodness once he tipped it because one of the players for the Panthers didn't quite see who it was able to wrap up the running back, making sure he could. And it's behind the line, so that's perfectly fine to hit the running back before they even catch the ball, but it was also tipped. So good job by the Panthers on that series.
Yeah, great
by
defense by the
defense.
Panthers. They sniffed a couple of plays out. The Tarpons will have to punt the football. And Rangel's got it. He makes a man miss. He's twisted around. He's fighting his way. He's still
Still
on his feet. He's down the sideline. He's making – he's still running.
There's a face mask.
An absolutely incredible return. A lot of arm tackles by
Right.
the Tarpons.
Watch this. He makes the first man miss. Then he makes
Spins.
another one, spins, and he keeps going down the sideline. Right here's the face mask. And then you still see him as 4 or 5 Tarpons in it, but what a return. The ball looked like it got all the way down close to the, the 37-yard line, I believe, is where he caught it. So we've got an injured player down, and we can go ahead and let's see if the official comes out here.
So it looks like they will take over. The Panthers will. We'll see. There's a penalty,
Right.
face mask. So we'll see where they.
The player gets up for the Panthers. Matt Richardson walked off on his own accord.
Flag.
Personal foul.
Face mask. Against Port Isabel.
Against Port Isabel, and it looks like
Now
we'll
they're
see
gonna.
where they mark it. It should be
Yeah.
down around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, if you take it at the end of the run, which they should, since it happened during the play, it's not a spot foul. It's taken 15 yards, and Panthers have the ball at the 15-yard line. If I'm reading the numbers right on this blue field, maybe I'm partially colorblind like my oldest son.
Well, the Panthers looking to put one of the nails in the coffin here as they run it. That's Chapa, and he fights his way inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Chapa gets good yardage on that play, but look at the offensive line on the right side. Look at the drive of the double team that takes the one player out of the play completely. And you see a lot of Port Isabel players down trying to submarine, and And what we mean by submarine, they're trying to go under the legs of the Panthers. But the double team on the right side by Barry and the right guard.
So they've got the ball spotted at the 9-yard line. 2nd and 4. Panthers up 21-13. 8:23 and counting here in the 4th. They hand it to Mabane. Mabane shakes and bakes. He fights his way down inside the 3.
So here's a replay with Mabane. Watch the line up front, block down, and then the kick out by Schwartzlose. That allows that play to happen. So the easiest block, I always tell you kids, the easiest block is what we call a down block, where if the person that's on your inside, you can take and hit them on the side or wherever. It doesn't matter inside the tackle, and you're pushing them down. And that's the easiest block because they want to go upfield, and you're just taking them sideways, and you can see that on that particular play.
Schulke under center. Choppa in motion. Hands it to Schwartzlose. Schwartzlose spins, and he is in for another Panther touchdown. So good second effort there.
That's the second time he's done that tonight. So that's 2 touchdowns by Schwartzlose by stretching the ball out. You know, it gets a little you get a little nervous when you stick that ball out there, but he did it just at the right time as he's going down.
So let's see what the Panthers elect to do. Up 27-13 now. 7:38 left here in the ball game.
They're going for 2.
Here the area round playoffs, 2nd round here in San Diego, Texas. And Schulke dances, fakes it, and just walks into the end zone. And that'll put the Panthers up 29-13. Folks.
Port Isabel was expecting it to go out to the tailback, and Schulke, fakes the pitch, almost like a pretty old-fashioned option. I know what Delmo Shaki used to run those for us back in 1982 season, and I'll tell you what, he did a heck of a job, and that looked reminiscent of a play where you fake that pitch and you take and tuck it in and go. Yeah, it's just a work of art there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it almost like he was going to pitch it and fake it, but I think that was a drive there. That was a 15-yard drive after an amazing punt return there from Rangel, who's done plays like that all year.
Yeah.
And then the penalty on the face mask, but it's going to be a tall task here for the Tarpons to come back in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the. I'm going to try to pull up some of the scores too that we had seen earlier, as Laga Vista and Sinton are going at it in the 4th quarter, 45-35. Sinton is up.
Wow.
By 10. But what a scoring fest that is.
Yeah.
Wimberley up on Orange Grove 49-7. And Ingleside up big 63-33 over Bandera.
So the return he's picked up. And a nice return here. But the kicker, Hyman just lowers his shoulder and boom. Takes number 22 down.
So there it is. Good hit by Hyman, and that's it wraps up, gets the helmet in front, not down with the crown, and kept his head up and just made a nice
great
hit.
tackle. And he was the kicker he's the one that kicked it deep as well.
Yeah.
So the Tarpons will take over at their own 42-yard line, so good field position for them. And boy, do they need a score here.
Yeah.
Time's running out on the Tarpons.
They have to take and they're going to have to do plays they're not comfortable with.
Martinez under center. He hands it. That is number 22 again, and he's just swarmed by a host of Panthers. There's supposed to be 8 or 9 of them out there on top of him. And good defense. Nice swarming to the football.
So, good job.
And now they're into the hurry up. So they got one on that one. They hand it coming back the other way. And again, the plays, Hank, for the Tarpons just take too long to develop against a really fast defense for the Panthers.
Yeah, Arias was right there again. Even though he didn't make the play, he got part of the feet and made him trip up a little bit, enough for the rest of the Panthers to come in.
So the Tarpons do huddle up this time, and the ball is right at the 40
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, and you would expect the pass play here. So the Panthers you're gonna see them peel back somebody. They got four down on the line, but I would bet you might see one of them peel back.
So Martinez under center. He is going to throw it. He rolls out. He's got pressure in his face. He dumps it. A good pass, but it's dropped by Garcia.
Yeah, and it's a good pass, but it's a hard pass to catch. Over-the-shoulder passes are not easy. So Garcia has to, you watch it here, as he goes back, he's trying to reach, and it's a little bit outstretched.
Yeah.
I think it was a little high after seeing that replay.
It was a little high, but it was a catchable
It's a catchable ball.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what they're doing here. It looks like they're going to punt.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, this is it. I mean, you got to go for it. I don't understand.
This. Yeah, this is a puzzling call here.
Unless they're just hoping to cause a turnover.
Yeah.
But I would not send anybody back if I'm the Panthers, other than for deep safety purposes.
So Rangel is back for the Panthers. Snaps back. The punt's up. It's a nice high punt. Rangel's going to let it bounce, and J.J. Wallace picks it up. And he's running. He's on the right side. He's got some room. He's around the end, and he's pushed out of bounds. Let's see if they throw a flag on that.
Yeah, I think it was either he picks it up or he's going to get it. The ball's going to touch him, and he didn't want. Like, I need to get this thing because it's about to touch me.
But a nice return there, and they will spot it in Tarpon territory. It looks like. Nope. Actually, I take that back. It will be in Panther territory right at the 47-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers. And I just don't understand why they punted there.
I don't either. I would have definitely went for it.
But, hey, we'll take it. Swartzalozzi, or I'm sorry, that's looks like Cohen Blunt in there.
Yes, and he's still
and
going.
He's still rumbling and bumbling and stumbling. He's a big boy too, as we know. And it looks like he might have the yardage or very close to it for another Panther first down.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, he's a big locomotive coming at you. But the only problem we had with Blunt running the ball at times, we've seen that exchange between Schilke and him, since he hasn't been, in the first part of the season in many of the games. That exchange hadn't looked too good in other games. So let's hope they can make the handoffs cleanly.
So Panthers come to the line here. 1st and 10. They hand it to Blunt again up the middle. Blunt's going to fall forward.
And he's got both hands on the ball, wrapped up on the points of the ball on each side by each hand. So that's exactly what you want to see, at this time of the game, and getting 4 or 5 yards each time. So now you see Davidson in as one of the receivers. The way Davidson is in, I saw number 6 come in, and so
it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 39.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was McBurry 5, so I apologize.
And he hands it this time. That's McBain. He's dancing. He tries to cut back.
Oh,
he drops
no.
the ball. He fumbles, and it looks like Port Isabel has jumped on the football. Tarpons see for the official ruling, and they do. The white hat says Tarpon football.
Oh, that was really close. And let's see if we go back to that one again.
So again,
if we see that one again, and you'll see, look close here as he's about his knee. Oh, it's just simultaneous. So we'll have to.
So there is life for the Tarpons here with 4:29 left, down 29-13. Here in the 4th quarter, they take over at their own 38-yard line. Whistles.
It's got to be before the snap. We'll see what they call it.
False start.
False start.
Yeah.
So
game getting a little sloppy here, late.
So I'm looking at the scoreboard itself, and they're showing 1 timeout remaining for the Tarpons, but we saw them take that other 3rd timeout. So
4:28 left here in the 4th quarter. Panthers up 29-13. They hand it off, 22 around the left side. He's got him some room, and he picks up some sizable gain. Nice run there.
Yeah, a little bit too much room, and
right.
And the
Jose Ochoa.
Yeah, so Ochoa's had a good game tonight too, running the ball. But I think as a whole, the offensive line has done a really good job for Port Isabel against what I thought the Panthers front line would have done better tonight, and because of Port Isabel's front line, they have not.
2nd down, they hand it to Garcia. Garcia bounces off of one of his guards and allows a bunch of Panthers to catch up. So again, swarming defense there by the Panthers.
Yeah, and you see right there, and bounces right back into the Bear, who ends up finally taking him down with a host of Panthers. So 3rd down and short coming up here for Port Isabel.
A couple of shout-outs. I'll get to it after the next play. And,
wow.
From the backside. No, yeah, that's Sonny Tolliver.
And looks like he wraps him up from behind right at the 1st down marker, and we'll see where they mark it, because he's right at it, and that's this 3rd down and 1.
So quick shout out here to some donors. Thank you to Mr. Backus, George Marino, Mrs. Shears, Mr. Holmes, and thank you Rockin' Z Farm and Ranch.
All right, like the name, Rockin' Z.
There you go. Thank you all so much. They all donated here to the Navarro Broadcasting Club. We much appreciated. The kids say thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Josh Brooks up here running the computer, making things happen. And so here we have a measurement. Let's see if we can. It's going to be short, so it's going to bring up a 4th down and short. They kept it at 3rd down, and I know that we played. I was going to say play the replay again, and we'd see the. We'd see that it was still showing 3rd down, but they do put it up as 4th down now. So now here it is. We'll bring the
a rally cry, 4th and 1 here from the 48-yard line of the Tarpons.
Yeah, I would have liked to actually see Cohen Blunt and the Bear up there in front in the A-gaps.
Yeah, you've got Cohen Blunt and Cade Pugh there, defensive tackle, techniques.
Not to take anything away from Cade Pugh, but I like to see some of the real big guys up there front.
The beef.
So now Port Isabel, Coach Villarreal is, I say they couldn't let number 2 in because he had to come out from an injured player.
So 3:12 and counting, 4th and 1. Here we go, folks. This is the ball game for the Tarpons. He runs it up the middle. A nice run, aggressive run.
Yes.
QB sneak, and he gets the 1st down and more.
Right.
That's Martinez.
And Martinez doing a good job. I wanted to look at the size if we had his size, and I didn't have it here, but Martinez, not a very big guy.
No, he hands it this time. That's number 9. He's coming around the corner and up, and he's tackled out of bounds. That's J.J. Waz. No flag.
Yeah, wanted a flag, but he just kind of hung on. And when you get to that sideline, there's a lot of things that's slippery on the sideline.
Well, at this point in the game, if you're the Tarpons, you got to have some pass plays, right?
Right.
You got to have something.
Well, we've already seen them out of 2 pass plays. Now we'll see what happens.
2nd and 11, ball at the 50, but at this rate, 2:54 left. I mean, you're down a couple scores. You gotta get this ball in the end zone quick, and then do an onside. They hand it again up the middle, and he's getting some decent yardage there, but they don't have any timeouts left, Hank.
Right.
And
Garcia makes a big run.
You know, the clock's running.
Yeah, he's coming up a little slow. Garcia, good hard run by him again. So we're back.
3rd and 5. Hands it. That's Ochoa. and he doesn't get much at all. Panthers are there. That's Richardson and Barry and company.
It's a good job by the Panthers on that play.
Delaney in as well.
So that's what we talk about, gang tackling. When you have everybody in on the tackle, that's what you do. So Port Isabel did have a timeout, and the Panthers must have taken one. They must have had one go to the Panthers, and
well, that's interesting because I've got that as their fourth timeout.
Yeah, but I know there might have been confusion on that one play when we talked about there was no penalty. But
okay.
So. And they had it on the scoreboard. The Panthers had taken one, and I didn't see them take a timeout, but could have missed that.
It's final.
Right.
It's final. Sinton wins 45-35. So Panthers, if they hold on here, which we fully expect them to,
right?
They're playing the Sinton Pirates next week.
Yeah, the Sinton Pirates take that one.
Looks like Hampshire Finette has gotten back in this ball game with the Cuero Gobblers, although Gobblers still up by 10.
Yeah, I still think Gobblers will take that one pretty easy.
There's only, it looks like about 4.5 minutes left in that ball game. Gobblers are in control. I don't know who has the football, but they did squeeze the gap there a little bit.
Well, I could say that this Tarpon team has really prepared the Panthers for the next level too, because they put up a big fight tonight.
They sure have. Fourth down. He is going to throw it. He's back to pass. That's Martinez. He looks. He double pumps. You got to get rid of the football.
Yep.
And he's sacked.
You just, at that point, it doesn't matter if it gets intercepted or not.
That's
you throw it.
Game.
That's it. Panthers will go on to win. They can just run this thing out. And so the Panthers swarm it on that play.
So good defense there in the second half by the Panthers. And, the last three possessions for the Tarpons have been punt, and downs.
Again. I wanted to take a look at that play again before we get to the Panthers, and just amazing job of the Panthers being there.
And that Galini comes from, again, that opposite side defensive end, running down the quarterback. So good for him. I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure what the Panthers are doing
what
there.
What are they doing? Well,
just kneel it. I mean, they don't have timeouts.
I guess they were trying to put the dagger in, and Schulke fumbles it, and it's a big loss. So you can't. Yeah, I'm amazed. But you know what? This is one of those times where you say, "Hey, the Panthers are trying to make a statement," and if that play would have went, I think there was a Panther down the field open. I didn't quite catch the number, but if Schulke doesn't have that pressure on him, he makes that play. I don't know if that's an attempt to make a statement to the rest to Sinton or not.
I don't know. I kneel it.
Yeah, no doubt.
This football game's over. And Cohen Blunt fights his way. He does hand it off.
He gets about 11 on that play, man.
And he fights. I'm not sure. So it's going to bring up a third down now. And it looks like about 9. The ball's on the Tarpon 48-yard line. There's 58 seconds and counting in this football game. The Panthers could just kneel it. And then just let the clock run out.
Right, now they will kneel it. You just see, all they have to do is let it get inside of 40 seconds. And
that's ball game.
That's it.
And they hand it to Blunt again. Blunt rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He's fighting, and he is finally pulled down at the end of the play. And he's down inside the 25-yard line. And 25 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that's it.
Spot the ball, roll the clock, and that should do it.
Yeah, the Panthers have had a hard-fought game, that's for sure. The Tarpons have they put up a big fight, and we knew it was the battle of the slot tees.
I see a flag.
Oh.
And
Wow, the Panthers are going way back,
Way back.
all the way back to where the line of
So,
scrimmage was.
Yeah, let's just kneel it. And,
Yeah. Yeah, we won't have any
I
more
mean,
opportunities for.
Yeah, I'd hate to see someone get hurt, at this point in the game.
You replay third down, though, if you do this, if it's a type of a penalty that's not a loss of down.
So it looks like it's a personal foul.
Yeah, that went against.
That went against the Panthers. And again, there's 20 seconds and counting. The Panthers don't have to snap it. It is it's the play clock is. I don't know how that happened because
After a penalty. Even if it's against the offense for if it's a personal foul, I thought that was different. So
that's the ball game.
Yep, that's it.
Panthers move on. Area round champs, folks.
Right.
Your Navarro Panthers are moving on. Going to play the Sinton Pirates next week.
Right.
But great game here for the, great game by both sides. Area champions for the Panthers. Good football game, hard-fought football game from the Port Isabel Tarpons. And hats off to them. They had a great season. They're going to finish 9-3 on the year. And your Panthers are going to advance to 9-3.
Yep, 9-3 now for Port Isabel, and now you have, Sinton, and Sinton is. This is going to be the toughest game of this playoffs for the Panthers. This was tough, but it's going to be even tougher against Sinton, and you're going to see more fireworks than we did today. And we saw plenty. I mean, big plays, big passing plays by the Panthers.
Yeah.
I think those are what kept the Panthers, in the lead. And so the Panthers have a lot to be proud about, but they still have to go back to work. They've got a lot to work on. And then where are we going to play? All that becomes, and we're going to play, you got Thanksgiving next week. And every year it seems like we see this where, the Panthers are going to have to practice during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, and no school all week. So it's always fun, though, to play on Thanksgiving week. The question is they going to play on we're playing Sinton, and the question is next question will probably be where.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stadiums between us and Sinton.
Well, where we played Sinton was one time at Texas State. They were happy with that, and so they were happy to travel up here. But that's a travel for them.
That's a bunch.
But you always look at Beeville's always been one of those neutral sites. But
I think in the third round.
We've even played at Cuero before in a situation like that.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, we played at Cuero. We played Sinton at Cuero. It was a number of years ago. I remember that game.
So we have a lot to look at as far as stadiums. I think from here between here and
Cuero could be a good possibility.
Yeah, but I'd rather play at Texas State.
Well, you and me both, and I think both teams would too. Third round. It's a special honor. A lot of teams don't get to the third round, and again, Scott Kibbe said it. We win tonight, or back to the third round. What, 9 straight years?
Right.
Interesting stuff. You want to talk about player of the game?
Oh, man. There's one player of the game. I think we only saw one real mistake that could have been. But to me, there's the manager of the game, I think, tonight, because he made so many big plays on offense. And when you talk about bringing the passing game, into play here, so to speak, for the Panthers.
And I agree. Schulke's a name. Barry's a name. Had some big catches.
He had big catches.
And he played on the defensive end. And then Arias,
he played great defense. We said his name 100 times, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
On the defensive side.
And I'm not taking anything away from Schulke. Hey, listen, but I'm just saying there's a couple of candidates.
That's what I want people to hear us actually, talk about. This is what we do in a break when
This is what we do. We wrestle. We might
have to put an arm wrestle here or so, but really, if you look at the amount of yards that Schulke contributed in the passing game tonight. I mean, what was it? We said 155 yards.
That was in the first half.
In the first half, right? And so I'm saying in the second half, it may not have been as high as that,
probably
but
not.
Close to 200 yards. I would bet tonight he had a 200-yard game in high school. And for a slot T team.
For a slot T team.
That's
well, it's giving the Pirates a lot to look at.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
If they don't cover number 5 next week.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, I'd love to give it just to both of them and have co-players of the game. But I really think
let's
Schulke.
Let's roll with Schulke.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Schulke, congratulations to you, Colton Schulke, senior quarterback.
Yeah.
Man,
had one of the games of his life tonight.
Yeah,
I
he
think.
did. And in playoff, I don't know, records or what, passing yardage. He's probably up there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to talk to Scott Kibbe. I just don't.
At least for the slot teams, right? If you take away that, the teams.
Yeah, that were passing teams, spread teams.
Yeah, the spread teams in the early 2000s. But, for slot T teams, 200 yards or around there for passing, a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones I think of that are quarterbacks that would compare to that, or that were throwing quarterbacks, Ty Durham and Will Eveld in the past, in which you'd see a lot of passing at those. But but during one game, I think this is one of the best performances we've seen out of any quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you talk about spread or not, I think Schulke just had a really nice game, and I think he made some really good choices tonight and decisions that could have went really bad. I think I blame the other one on not on him, because they should have never been running a pass play at the end of the game. But we're okay. We can live with that.
It's okay. We're area champions. We're moving on.
That's right.
And
so right now we'll as the Panthers huddle up and talk about this, and we're looking for Scott Kibbe on this one. So once Scott Kibbe gets over here and we get the final stats, and maybe he'll have some insight on where we might play next week. I mean, we've seen – now, I don't know if you remember this, but we've even played on a Saturday during a Thanksgiving
Oh, we have,
weekend.
yeah.
So that's a possibility. I doubt it. Most of the time you want to get that Friday.
I know some Longhorn fans would like that, because they've got a big game against Texas Tech in Austin. So I know that was a conversation this week. So.
Right, and I'm kind of on both sides. That I have a son going to Texas Tech, and and we were always Texas fans growing up as kids in the area, in San Marcos area and northern Guadalupe County, and because that's all they showed on TV. Hey, you end up rooting for them, right?
I know. I've seen your trunk out there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you're one of those Boomer Sooner guys,
okay. That's okay. That's okay. We get along in
that's
the booth.
Right.
We get along.
But wait till we get outside.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's
right. In the parking lot, it's a different story.
Right.
We're totally joking around here, having fun.
Well, this game tonight, though, I think is really a good. I said this earlier, a good preparation for the remainder of the playoffs.
I agree.
This kind of takes you to that next level, and then now the Panthers have to really, step it up, and they know what they're up against.
That's right.
I think just like I felt like they should have been able to take control of this game early. They could not because of the Tarpons. They played very good tonight.
They did.
So
hats off to the Tarpons. If Tarpon fans, if you're still listening, you had an excellent season. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
You just ran into a little bit more physical football team in the Panthers tonight, but hey, that happens. We're in the playoffs. We're in the second round. So.
Right. So when we get to the third round, Sinton has been proven that they're a really good team, and we said it's going to come down to either Sinton, us, Wimberley, or Lago Vista. Well, Sinton and Lago Vista already battled that out, so it's between us and Sinton, and I still feel that Wimberley is going to get over Ingleside too in that other play.
So there's 4 teams left in Region 4, right?
So let's go ahead.
3 of them are from our district. Last year, all 4 of them were from our district, and so 13, District 13 here in 4A Division 2. So we've got obviously the Wimberley Texans won.
So
right?
So you have Wimberley winning, and then you have Ingleside winning. So.
And they will play.
Right. And so you've got those playing, and you have us and Sinton. So we're in the regional round, they call it. So that's where we stand right now. So Sinton wins, and you see us winning. So Ingleside versus Wimberley, and Sinton versus us. And then when you look at the other sides of the bracket in the Region 3, you'll see now, I think it was the Cuero ended up, I think, winning that one.
Silsby has won.
And Silsby
won. Jasper looks like they're going to win. They're up 50-7. Cuero is definitely going to win, up 44-27. And the Belleville Brahmas won 67-0.
Yeah, and
they are a machine right now.
So you're going to see
Belleville and Silsby.
Right, that's going to be a really good game.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Belleville Silsby is going to be a war, and then you've got Jasper and Cuero, and so wow, And then down here you've got Wimberley and Ingleside, and then you've got Sinton playing us.
Right. So
all of those are excellent football. Yeah. I mean, when you get to round 3, they're all good football games. So I kind of hope we do. I kind of hope we do play on a Saturday, because then maybe we can watch some of these other games.
That's right. That's right. And yeah, that would be really nice to see and see who you're gonna. But why we're mentioning Region 3, because coming out of Region 4 plays the winner out of Region 3, and so we have to now start paying attention to that side.
That's right.
As well.
That would be round 5.
Yeah, we can do that, but our players need to focus just on Sinton. So we've got Scott Kibbe coming in here. He's now got his headset in. So there he is.
He snuck in.
All right. Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Well. Let's hear it.
All right. For Navarro, 12 first downs, 36 rushes for 192 yards, 163 passing yards on 6 out of 9 attempts.
Oh, only 163. I was hoping
just
we were closer to 200.
Half, yeah. One one punt for 41 yards, 4 fumbles, two lost. Got to fix that. Got to fix 11 penalties, 115 yards. Mebane led the way, 13 carries, 71 yards and touchdown. That puts him over 3,000 career yards, out 3,015.
All right.
And then Blunt 7 for 66 out of 24-yard run called back. But why should he be any different? Everybody had a long run called back or a big play called back.
Big play, that's right.
And then Barry, 3 catches, 85 yards for a touchdown. Port Isabel, 12 first downs, 49 rushes, 155 yards, 5 passing yards on 1 out of 6 attempts, 5 punts, average of 28 yards, 1 fumble, did not lose it, 7 penalties for 45 yards. Garcia led the way for them, 16 rushes, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow. What a great night of just good hard-nosed football we saw tonight. Don't you think, Scott?
It really was. I mean, the advantage for the Panthers is they got a test. They were tested. They had adversity, sometimes of their own doing. But Port Isabel kept coming back, kept battling, and they totally learned some things about themselves. The passing game just about won them a game. You could almost say that tonight. It meant so much to them. And because 192 passing yards, rushing yards is not usual Navarro football.
Right.
So I think that's very positive. It's just those penalties. It's just,
the penalties.
It was, and granted, I mean, this was the worst officiated playoff game I've ever seen for just them getting their act together.
As far as playoff games, I agree.
There's still a lot of those were deserved. All those penalties were deserved, and they're just too many that have been.
That's right. And the fumbles too. You next week you can't have 115-yard penalties and 2 fumbles and expect to probably win that.
You cannot. And that second one, you've got to know the situation. You're not battling for yards in that situation. You got to hold on to the ball. Those extra couple yards don't matter.
And then at the very end of the game, they came in and got Schulke, and he fumbled and jumped back on it, but.
I have to think. I may ask Coach Blunt about it. That's got to be a mix-up. I can't understand why they would be passing in that situation.
There must have been some kind of hey, the player's like, hey, we're going to pass the ball. No, I don't know. Somebody got a signal mixed up. Yeah. So
the positive was 6 of 9 for 163. You do that next week, and you're probably looking at going to round 4, right?
You're going to have to account for Mac Berry. You're going to have to account for some of those other guys, and we haven't said that about a Navarro passing game in probably 7 years.
Yeah.
So. Wow. Yeah. And we talked about that. These kind of performances, 163 yards passing. You hadn't seen that till since like Will Eveld and then Ty
Right.
Durham before that,
Right.
So in the playoffs, but we're talking about for slot T teams, we're not, we go back and you could probably say that, that was nothing when you go back to have runs teams when they
Right.
threw the ball quite a bit.
When they were
They were
very open.
chunking
so,
it all
yeah,
over the field,
yeah.
right? So,
And actually, I could bury 95 yards because he didn't get to 100. He could have been the first one in a couple of years to get 100 receiving yards.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
and they've also been 7 years 200-yard passer. Kind of scared of that tonight, but
Right.
up in the second half.
yeah. Well,
And had a long one called back. Let's not take that away. They would have scored 200 if that one hadn't been called back.
Well, we talked about, and we didn't tell you, but our player of the game tonight was Schulke. We felt like he did enough to make sure, like he managed the game, he made big plays, he made good decisions most of the way. There's only maybe one or two, but we can do that because we're up here and we can see that. But I thought he did an excellent job throughout the game and managing the game and making the plays that needed to be made. Because if we didn't have those pass plays, we may not have won this game.
Yeah, I think Coach Blunt's been very high on him as the year's gone on about the way he's running the offense, about the things he's doing, the decisions he's making to not get his team in trouble.
Right.
And keep them moving forward. So,
yeah, I agree. He's done well. So, all right. Well,
all right.
Scott.
So there it is, still area champions, and we'd like to thank our host here in San Diego, the San Diego Vaqueros. They did a great job of hosting here, and I love their field. So it's a pretty
Right.
cool field. Sinton's one of those teams. They run just about anything and everything. They get after it, and so we just have to be ready for anything and everything. And I don't know how you do that, but they have to do that with us now.
Yeah, they
like
scored
you said.
45 points tonight, and and Blunt showed them a bunch. So they're gonna have their hands full with our offense as well, and our defense. So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh God,
it should be a lot of fun playing the Pirates, and so I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm excited. These are the games that you want to be at. You want to be here tonight. You want to be there next week. This is fun it's fun for the players, but boy, it's fun for us too, isn't it?
That is awesome. Yeah, it's one of the funnest nights that I've had in a very long time overall. And what a great broadcast by the students.
Yeah, great job.
Everybody that put this together. Steph and all. So we'll go ahead and start running the credits. So. Lance, if you want to get us out of here, you can. Scott Kibbe had left. You can see him in his article in the Seguin Gazette. And these kids are ready to get home. We got a long ways to go.
Yeah, we got a long drive, so we're going to get out of here.
There you go, and I'll let you take us home as we.
All right. So your Navarro Panthers win tonight, 29-13 over the Port Isabel Tarpons, the slot T from the south. But area champions for our Navarro Panthers football-wise, and we are moving on to the semifinal round, and our opponent will be the Sinton Pirates.
Yep.
And we don't know, to be announced, but we will see you either Friday or Saturday. Thanksgiving week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and God bless and good night.